BlasterGas 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 BlasterGas.
So yeah, how's things, man? It's been a while. Fuck's sake, when's the last time I fucking spoke to you, man?
Or is that the theme of our that we went to the
Was that
boiler
the
room thing?
last time?
That was the
Fuck's
last
sake.
time. No,
When was
last time.
that? Like, feels like fucking ages. It feels like at least
Good.
a couple of seasons ago. It's now dark and cold. And it was like sunny and warm
Was it
then, so
beginning
I
of
wasn't.
September or something like that?
Yeah, it was a while ago anyway.
It was
Like,
actually. Maybe it was the end of August. It was proper hot that day.
fuck's sake, yeah.
But yeah, no, doing away on my holiday this week. Definitely needed it. I've just been getting hammered at work, disconnecting from the actual main hub thing and being flaky.
Okay.
But no, that seems better.
So, when's Fallout coming out?
December, I think.
Do you know the date? Like,
No, I mean, there's a trailer for it in Prime now. So it says there's two seasons, and it's like, oh, it's out, amazing. But then like the only
I
thing
saw.
season two is the trailer. It's like you bastards.
I saw that, man. Like, I watched the whole first season. Me and Jane watched it, powered through it, thinking we had two seasons to get through, and then it got to and the same as you. I'm like, wait a minute, what's it? We all sat down with our dinner and everything, ready to start season two, and it was like, what? So yeah, same thing happened to me.
Yeah, no, I'm
And
looking forward to that. But I don't know why I've not managed to get myself to watch it, like rewatch it, because it feels like it's too soon. Because I've got such a bad memory. I'm going to rewatch it. I'm going to watch it a little bit closer to December, so I can actually remember what the
I
hell's.
was I was thinking the same, and I was thinking just cram it like the week before or something, just so you got it real
Yeah,
fresh, you know.
I think that's it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there probably is some stuff. I remember rewatching Game of Thrones before and like massively benefiting from that because it was such a twisty, turny plot. Whereas that feels like it might not be quite as beneficial. There's stuff going on, but it's a little bit more linear.
I don't know if I've ever had this problem before because I normally find out about stuff like when it's been out for ages. I'm like for some reason I'm quite often the last to get around to watching the good series. So
Yeah,
when I started watching Breaking Bad, it was like already on its like fourth season, so I had plenty to catch up on. Or with Game of Thrones, I think it was something similar. So was Breaking Bad was even mind you Breaking Bad's available? Was that even on streaming or was that something else?
you know what? Yeah, it probably wasn't. I watched it on a
Was that just
DVD.
normal? Oh, that's what I would have watched on. Yeah, it was maybe on like Sky or something originally, and then they put it
Yeah,
or some kind of American channel.
I never finished watching Breaking Bad.
Neither have I.
What
Neither have
season did you get
I.
to?
Sorry?
What season did you get to?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I got pretty close.
You
Um,
got about halfway through season three.
only once. Like you've watched the three seasons just once.
Yeah, yeah,
Right? No, I watched like when we were still in Spain, I watched it right up till almost the end, and then didn't watch it again for years. So then I think it was just a few years ago back to Scotland, and it was like I think I bought like the whole series. It was on streaming like the whole lot. So I was like, but it'd been so long since I watched. That was an example. I was going to rewatch it, but
yeah.
then I had so much to rewatch that I got to about two or three seasons through. I forgot that like it is brilliant, but I forgot how stressed out it made me feel. It's like it's really stress. Like I get really sort of affected by stuff I watch. Like I read once that apparently, where did I hear it? That like the same neurons in your brain are firing as when you're actually experiencing something as when you're watching an experience of something.
Yeah,
Certain parts of your brain are the same parts are triggering.
yeah. I mean, someone was telling me about that as well. It's like if you imagine yourself succeeding at stuff, it fires the same chemicals, and so you get the same positive um like chemicals released into your body. Like if
Oh,
you
really?
achieve a goal by visualizing it, and so it can help depression and stuff like that by like visualizing you achieving great things and all that sort of stuff. I don't do it, but apparently it's a thing. Someone who's been studying psychology that was telling me that, so I think it's
It makes sense because if you think about the opposite, if you're sitting when you're feeling down and you're sitting thinking the worst, or you're worried about something, you're thinking the worst,
yeah,
it makes you feel down, right? So it makes sense if you start thinking about the best that could happen, it's going to
yeah.
make you feel the opposite. Yeah, yeah, it makes sense. Like,
So much easier to fall into that thinking of the bad stuff though, like as a habit, or else you.
totally, man, totally.
uh,
So, we better talk about this thing before it gets too late.
I guess so. What's the
Eh? So when did you watch? Did you watch it again? You'd watched it before, hadn't you?
Spaceman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it last night.
So
I
did
watched it a
you
while back.
did you so okay, so how did you feel about it after watching the first time, and did you feel any different about it after watching the second time?
Yeah, totally. I think I didn't know anything about it. I'd just seen Adam Sandler. It's like not my favorite actor. And I thought yeah, it's space stuff. I'll give it a watch. I always like space stuff. So I didn't know there was going to be a space spider, a cute space spider. I didn't know anything about it as well, and so it was like I thought with that Adam Sandler it wasn't going to be such a sort of serious film. So I think it caught me unawares because I
Yeah.
was expecting any of that. I think it had more impact on me the first time. I watched it again last night, and I was like, I didn't have the same sort of. I mean, obviously it's the second time I've seen it, but it didn't affect me as much as it did the first time.
Yeah, it's funny. Well, I was a little bit different from you because I think I'd read a review about it, or I'd heard it. I listen to sometimes like movie podcasts, and sometimes I read movie reviews and stuff. And sometimes I read these reviews on IMDb or whatever.
Yeah,
I think you had said you'd seen it as well, but you
yeah,
hadn't said much about it. But the reviews had said how, Adam Sandler's great in it and blah blah blah. And so I was expecting it to be, let's see what I was more like, what's this all about sort of thing. I knew it wasn't going to be like your typical Adam Sandler stupid thing.
yeah.
So I was prepared in that respect, but I didn't know anything about the spider. I certainly couldn't remember anything about the spider. So that was, I have to say, when the spider first came in, uh see, I'm not a big fan of like real sort of surreal stuff in movies.
So I love that.
Yeah. See, I'm not normally. So at first I'm thinking if this is going to be like this all the way through, I'm not going to like it. That's what I was thinking at first. Although I ended up loving it. But that's my first reaction was like, oh, I hope it's just like a one-off hallucination or something, and then it goes back into more proper story. Um, but you like that? You like kind of surreal sort of stuff normally, do you?
Yeah. So I was all up for space spiders.
So as soon as you saw a space battle, you're like, yes, let's go.
Let's get weird. Um, and that's it. I didn't think it was that weird the second time. It's just like, yeah,
I think maybe part of that is because by the time the film ends, it doesn't seem weird. It doesn't even seem surreal. By the time the film ends, it all just kind of it's so well done. We're kind of skipping straight to how we felt about the movie right at the beginning, but like I thought it was so well done, that I wasn't even thinking, analyzing it like, oh, would that been better this or that been better that. I just had such a sort of amazing feeling from it. It wasn't really, I know, and I couldn't really tell why.
yeah.
Because nothing about it, if somebody described the movie to me, I'd probably thought, nah, I'm not really up for that. But actually experienced the movie by the end of it, I was like, man, that was amazing.
And that's why I never said anything to you about it. Because it's that sort of film. It's definitely better if you don't know anything about it. You're not got any expectations of it. Because I think you're right. It's like it's really well paced in terms of how it pans out.
Unfolds, yeah,
Um,
unfolds sort of the story and the scenario.
Once it starts, it never really drags.
It's funny because there are so many things. I think about it now. There's so many bits or sort of ways that it's done that things about it that I normally wouldn't like in movies. Like I'm not a big fan of surreal stuff. I'm not a big fan of flashbacks. Um, or maybe that's the first two things I can think of. But they're pretty key elements of the film, and normally I wouldn't like that sort of stuff. But so when I saw the spider, and then he's going into flashbacks, I'm like, ugh, this is going to start annoying me. But I just forgot about it because, like, say maybe it's the pacing, but you just kind of you
I,
kind of get taken along in it, no problem, and you're not even questioning it after a while.
I think this is it. It does it. It flows together well, and I think that's what they got right. Because I mean, that sort of in a space station film where it's pretty much just him and the spider for most of the time.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good, does it? It doesn't sound like sort
Wow,
of
this
film. You
is
feel like, oh, cool, I really want to see that.
guy floating around in the socks with this big spider. But I think the
Yeah,
spider's really cute as well. And he's got a weird voice, but he's pretty cute.
I
Um,
thought the voice was the cutest thing about it. 'Cause I thought the spider was a bit weird, and then it had like a human mouth or something, didn't it?
yeah, I didn't notice that a second time. I've actually been like not even reading, but listening to the audiobook, which is a bit of a weird thing. We can talk about that later, but I don't know if you ever listened to audiobooks.
I've tried a couple of times and never got into it.
This one's been okay because I mean I was doing it, I was listening, I was painting the shed, listening to audiobook, and that's kind of cool. But the way he does the spider's voice, it's like, oh, why did you do that?
But does it
That's
not do the same as the movie? Like,
no, and it's like it's an kind of annoying voice. I've kind of got used to it. It's not so annoying that I've had to turn it off. I've had audiobooks where I just couldn't listen to them.
do you know? I think you're onto something there with like I think the voice of the spider was one of the best things about the movie. They got it just right. It was kind of cute but serious. It was soft but clear. It was a good voice.
They describe the voice in the book, and actually in the movie, I think they've got it pretty good. But like his voice is, yeah, I don't know what he was thinking. But this is the problem with audiobooks. It's like even the way he reads, it's like, yeah, it's not the way I would read it in my head, and that's what's difficult about it.
I just find with audiobooks that it just reminds me because I don't know if when you were wee you used to have like tapes with kids' books with tapes.
Sherlock Holmes.
And I only ever listened to those things when I was really bored. And I was like, right, well, I could put that tape on. I had one like a Star Wars one, like Adventures with C-3PO and R2-D2, that like just because it had a few, the story was rubbish, but it had a few of like, samples taken from the movie of proper R2-D2 and C-3PO noises and proper laser noises. That's the only reason I liked it, just to hear those noises. Because this is before you had like Star Wars on video.
Yeah, totally. They were cool
But
noises.
But like these audiobooks just reminds me of sitting listening to one of these tapes when I'm a wee boy. It just feels silly to me. It feels kind of childish or something.
Yeah, no, I mean I know what you mean. I'm not a fan, but it's been it is if you've got something to do
Yeah,
where you can actually listen, then it's a bit. I think just
depends on
because
the job. Depends on the job. Like if you've got something to do, you have to think about stuff.
yeah,
Then you need music, I think. But if you're just doing a job that's kind of repetitive, or whatever, then yeah, I was just listening to podcasts and stuff for that. Just when I'm hanging out motion and all that sort of stuff.
I think it was just because like most of the podcasts I listen to are like political ones.
Yeah, no, see, I don't need. Mine are sport and Star Wars, pretty much it.
Yeah, I need to branch out with podcasts. But
I
yeah,
don't know how people listen to these heavy podcasts. I'm like, that's just, for me, podcast is like entertainment. I want to relax. I want to listen people talking about sport. It's interesting, but at the end of the day, it means nothing. So it's perfect. It's just in the background. You're following it, but it's not life or death scenarios.
Scottish football podcast. I'm not sure I could listen to that.
Yeah, well, there's a few. I tend to listen to the American sport ones now, and,
Yeah,
they're out all the time, so it's great. Like,
watch, but.
Was it?
Just not that in American sports. I imagine they would be more interesting podcasts though.
There was a Hibs one that I listened to for a bit. It was okay. Yeah, there's a couple of Hibs ones. You never checked them out.
I think I mean I have in the past, not recently.
Okay. Anyway, back to Spaceman. Yeah, what he says? Skinny human or
Yeah,
something, no?
yeah,
When he kept saying that, I loved that.
yeah.
Although I kept thinking he's not that skinny, is he, Adam Sandler, really?
I mean, he is in the book though.
Right, okay, so is that what he says in the book? Skinny human.
He is in the book.
Right, right. So if you
Um,
listen to the whole book,
no, about halfway, and it's
right,
interesting because it's not the same. I mean, it is, and I think all right, that's contradictory, but it's like I, I think they've sort of taken the essence of it, but presented the storyline is different in terms of, and I think they sort of simplified it
you mean the
to
structure as well is different? Like, does it go, is it same where it's like you're in the pod with him and
yeah,
then he sees the spider and then he's having flashbacks? Is that same structure?
yeah, it's all the sort of same. It's the sort of story around that. It goes a lot more into his childhood and why he's the way he is, and
Yeah,
a lot of stuff about um sort of the Czech political
right, yes, there's a
like
bit of
how it
stuff.
like, went from communism to um capitalism and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Which I mean, I quite like. I like sort of reading and learning about stuff like that. But also like the storyline with Lenka is very different as well. In the film, it's like she's pregnant, but actually in the book, she's not pregnant. And it's much more
okay.
complex than just that sort of. Oh, I realized I should have been there for
Oh,
you.
really?
This sort of stuff. It's that's not it. But there is that theme there of him recognizing that he's not living for the right reasons, and he's
Okay.
this sort of false gratification from
From these achievements.
achieving stuff rather than for like what he really wants. He's doing that for the wrong reasons, and it's quite philosophical, and they're sort of saying that yeah, that is it's actually okay to just to want that if that's what makes you tick. Then it's okay to want that, but you've got to work out what you want and not let other people make you try and achieve something that isn't your
Yeah. Like think about your what is your
desire.
motivation for doing the things you do? Is it because of some guilt or sense of pride or all these or are you doing it because you actually enjoy it or you want to do it? Yeah, thinking it that's a big sort of theme, isn't it?
And which is kind of cool. And so like, but it's yeah, it's more sort of nuanced and sort of complex. And yeah, just more stories of lots of little like it is sort of through flashbacks still, but it's like having conversations. I mean, because he lives with his grandparents because his parents were killed in a cable car accident
Right.
thing, and it goes into all that. And his dad was one of the Communist Party members that like did horrible stuff, and so he feels guilty
Yeah.
about that. And like
Yeah,
this,
they've got a bit of that in the movie, but they don't go into it hardly at all, really.
yeah. So they go more into the sort of all that sort of stuff. Which I mean,
Yeah, you'd imagine they would, yeah.
yeah, in a film, it's like there's only so much you can do. It's like you could have made it a little mini series ultimately, but
And yeah, film you've got to really hone in on one main sort of theme,
yeah,
otherwise people
that's
just get kind of
why
bored
they
or
did it.
like distracted, you know. You've only got an hour and a half or 2 hours
Yeah,
to
this is it.
build on something. So which element are you going to build on and get
Yeah.
people hooked in? And I thought it worked really well with the I thought the way they did it was really good. And I if it'd been more focused on like the politics, the Czech political history, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much, to be honest.
I
So
think this is it. That's what's interesting about sort of films and movies is that in a book, I think that can be interesting, but in a film, I think it's really difficult to make that interesting and just like tick along fast enough to actually make it an enjoyable film. And I think this is it, and they did it well because they have changed it, but it does feel like they've kept the essence of what I'm sort of reading and hearing about. Sort of it's hitting the same kind of notes, but just in a slightly different way. You
Yeah,
sort
well,
of
politics is like all about beliefs and stuff, isn't it? And what you think, the way things should be done, and that's kind of hard to come across in a movie without just loads of dialogue,
yeah,
and then that just gets kind of heavy. Whereas in, like you say, when you're reading it, you're reading, it's just more words. It doesn't make a difference. You can read it at your own pace anyway.
yeah.
So you can read a bit about political stuff, and you can go and get a sandwich. Whereas the movie, you're stuck with it. If you're like, okay, I've had enough of this now, you're stuck.
And I think this is it, and that's I mean, and that's why they have done it well because I think they have still sort of kept the. Like I said, I've not finished it, but
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know how the book, if it book ends in a different way, you know?
it definitely does because he's just been rescued by a Russian shuttle.
Oh, like, only halfway through.
It's like it's maybe a little bit over halfway, but yeah, he's just
Wow.
rescued by a Russian
Okay.
shuttle. So
And what about what's the spider's name again? Do you remember?
yeah, Hanush.
Hanush.
Yeah.
Hanush. At the end, I'm like, Hanush. Oh, Hanush.
That still happens. He's just been eaten by the
Those
Gurum,
those
sort
weird
of.
things that are they living inside them, and then they come out of them to eat them or something.
Yeah, well, they've been sort of inside of him, but he's been able to sort of hold them back for long enough that they couldn't like eat him. And
Yeah.
then they gradually wearing him down, and then he can't hold them back anymore, and then that's it. But
That's such a weird idea to have a giant spider with little things and living inside and waiting to eat them
yep,
on
it's
a spaceship
on a spaceship.
that can give you marriage guidance.
Yeah, like really good as guidance. Oh,
That's thinking a good bit of imagination there for sure.
yeah,
So, how did you feel after the first time you watched it?
I think I'm gonna say it was like didn't know what to expect. I think I also was probably in a different place. Like so, I can't remember when it was, but I
Don't
mean,
think it was that long ago it came out, was it?
I don't think so. But I think I was sort of just between either like going between jobs or just after changing jobs, which was really stressful. Um,
You mean after the promotion thing?
no, like when I changed, like, because my first job I got made redundant, and then I didn't have a job for a bit, and then it was like,
When was that though?
um, and that was like 2.5 years ago, though.
No, but this came out this year, did it not?
I don't think so.
I think it
Right, check.
did. I forgot you're at the control center.
No, end of 23. So
Oh,
yeah,
so last year, right? Well, I thought it's weird. I thought it only came out recently, but
I mean it is, yeah, a year and a half ago.
I
Ish.
literally thought it came out like beginning of the summer this year or something like that. So that's weird.
Don't think so. I think it was a bit longer than that, but maybe not.
So you thought it came out years ago, and I thought it came out months ago. So neither of us were right.
It was definitely 2024. So it's like I don't know when I watched it. So maybe it was only a bit. I mean, it might have been a year ago that I watched it, but yeah,
Yeah. So how did
definitely.
you feel?
I think just the whole it definitely it grabbed me sort of emotionally and took me on a
For
roller
sure.
coaster.
Me
Made
too.
me think about stuff, and I like thinking about stuff. Um, I think what he was thinking about seemed quite poignant to me at the time as well. It's like, are you doing stuff for the right reasons, like for work and all that sort of stuff, and like putting so much effort into it? And it's like, am I am I absent by like spending too much time trying to do work because changing jobs and like new career and stuff, I've had to put a lot of time and effort into actually getting better.
All your energy is going into that, basically.
Just talking about and thinking about things that I'd been sort of, I guess I hadn't been thinking about it and made me realize I should be thinking about them. And getting priorities right. Because I mean, yeah, work's important, but there are more important things.
Yeah, and I think
So
like what you were saying about about the main sort of focus or point of the movie, I think anybody would find some sort of relevance in it. Anybody would find it make them think because whether
yeah,
it's working too much or not working enough or not giving people attention or not doing things that make you happy or whatever it is, I think it just the general focus is not necessarily, oh, you need to get home back to your pregnant wife. It's more just like you said earlier, just is think about, why you're doing things and think about what's important. Uh, I think something about the just that. I mean, if you were stuck up on a wee pod floating about in space for ages, um, you could just be focused on like, right, I've got to make reports, I've got to get some food and stuff. And maybe it would take like a spider coming in to make you think, wait a minute, go and stop what you're doing a second. You're floating about in space. You got time. Think about your life. Reflect a bit instead of just farting about doing all your stuff. To use this time while you're floating about in the middle of nowhere up in space to reflect on your life. And if
yeah.
you think about it, it'd be the best place in the world to reflect on your life while you're floating up there. You come back down to Earth, you're like, okay, I'm ready now.
Well, they say that they're like all the astronauts that once you see Earth from orbit, it makes you recognize your place in the universe and it changes your perspective.
I remember like one of the first times I was up in a plane and like, or not one of the first times, when I was as an adult, one of the first times up in a plane, and either when you're taking off or landing, you look down and you see everything getting smaller, and then you just sort of, you picture like as you see it getting smaller, as you're getting higher, you kind of think, God, I spent how much of the last months or years just going back and forward the same wee bits, back and forward. And so
Yeah.
there is something about that perspective of being up above, of just seeing how kind of everything feeling smaller and further away, kind of you see it clearer.
Even, I mean, I get that just standing at the edge of the sea, particularly when you've got like waves crashing off rocks, and sort of feel how immensely powerful that water is, and you're just tiny in comparison to it. But I mean, that's still tiny compared to Earth. So
Yeah,
it
imagine.
must have a,
Would you, if you had the chance, would you do that? Would you go up in space?
I don't think I would now. Like in,
Really?
well, no, not unless it was like easy. I think you still have to like do astronaut training and all that sort of stuff. I'm
Okay,
sure.
but you're
But,
thinking too realistic about it. I'm thinking just in
right.
general. If someone
If I
said
could just go
if
up,
you could just go up and see what it's like a sort of day trip, if the technology was there that it wouldn't take too much out of you, you didn't have too much, you know what I mean?
yeah,
If you could just take a trip there, would you do it?
yeah. Like if it was all
100%.
safe and yeah, and it wasn't like putting your life in danger and all that. Yeah,
Well,
for sure.
nothing's 100% safe. You know what I mean? You go up in planes and stuff, they're not 100% safe, but you still do it.
Yeah, but it's less risky than going into space at the moment. If you're
Yeah.
talking like sci-fi and you've got like all the cool sci-fi stuff,
No, I'm talking like
you're,
even just like he
you're totally
was,
safe.
I'm talking like he was, but just without thinking too much about like how much preparation it would take. But I just want, I guess I suppose it's a stupid question because if it was easy, I think everyone would probably want to do it, wouldn't they? Because I mean, it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I guess it's how
And
hard it is that puts people
zero
off.
gravity. Zero gravity would be cool. Like
For me, the
experience
coolest
that.
thing is just like we were saying, just look back on Earth would
Yeah.
be amazing. It's
You
crazy
don't
to
really, I was
sorry.
gonna say, don't really show it in the movie, but like he's out at Venus. So he's like right beside Venus as well. And like, imagine being next to like Venus or Jupiter and being so close to it that your whole vision was taken up by the size of this planet sort of thing. That
That
would be
would be
pretty cool.
that'd be amazing. I would love that. That would be amazing.
Especially because like with Jupiter and Saturn, they've got these massive moons. Like they've got moons that are bigger than Earth. So you could be like in orbit around that and then still have this big massive like planet just behind you.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Totally. Yeah. So yeah, it's a good place to reflect up in space, and if you've got a nice friendly spider that's kind of helping you out, then What happened at the end? He goes back to Earth and he's fine. He gets taken in by the rival space people, doesn't he? And then how does it end again? I can't remember now because it was a few weeks ago since I've seen it now.
Maybe I missed that then, because at the end, like it doesn't really sort of show you though, does it? It's like there's
What
lights come on. It doesn't show you him being rescued.
does it not?
And
It just kind of suggests, and that's it, how it ends.
I think they're then back on Earth. I say, you know what? Watched this last night and still can't fucking remember. It sounds fucking useless.
Maybe it's because it doesn't really matter, does it? Because not the point. The point of the movie is not how it ends. You know what I mean? It's the
No,
point of the movie is what he's been through the whole movie. The
but
bit that you can.
maybe that's the Russians rescuing him, and I just never picked up on that in the movie. Like
Yeah,
in
was it
either
or
of
was it
times.
was it Russians or I don't think it was Russians. It was like Koreans or something, no?
Or maybe it's Koreans in the movie then.
But anyway, it wasn't Americans. So it was like it was just after Hanush is gone,
Yeah. So
and
yeah, maybe
then
they haven't changed it as much as I'm thinking now.
but do you see him back on Earth with the wife and everything? I don't think you do, do you?
I don't think you do. So I don't think they go
I think it
that
just
far back
it
because
what
you see Lenka doing something. She's in a car somewhere.
do you? I guess I should have watched it again before. It was taking us this long to get around to doing it. So I should have watched that again last night.
Well, I did. I still can't remember what happened. It's terrible.
Well, I think,
Um,
like I said, the point is that it doesn't
yeah,
really matter because that's not the point of the movie.
yeah,
And if they were to go into too much of what happens when he gets back to Earth, it would detract from the main
yeah,
essence of the movie, I think, you know?
yeah. So pretty sure you don't see them like the two of them together or anything like that. It's like um, it's not completely resolved.
No, but you could imagine it'd be something along those lines if it was. It would be something along the lines of him. There was the phone call, wasn't there, where he calls her and apologizes and everything.
Yeah, but she doesn't speak.
Yeah, but I was totally glued to it. It was funny. Like we watched it on like a weeknight and was a bit tired and wasn't 100% up for watching a movie. And like I say, when it started and it was like the spider and the flashbacks, and I was just like, "Ugh, I don't know if I get into this." And then I was just glued to it all the way through.
Yeah, I think they got that pacing of the story and like unveil it or revealing the next bit just at the right time, just to sort of keep you interested. I think they did that really well. I think that's one of the things that sort of makes it.
It was pretty funny
Um,
how he keeps going to the Nutella.
yeah, it's like that's funny in the book as well because he actually you kind of see it in the film, but I mean he comes in and he's covered in like food and like he's got like Nutella over him and he's like he goes into the kitchen and like everyone's like out the cupboards and just floating around and like being totally um he's just been at it and he's like no because he basically steals all his Nutella and doesn't like give it all to him. It's just he's like I can't help myself.
Why do you think they added that into the story? It was interesting that's in the book as well. I wonder why, because I was wondering, it's almost like, I suppose maybe just a bit of comedy to sort of give it balance.
I guess it makes him more endearing, doesn't it?
Yeah,
As a
totally.
space spider.
It does.
So I mean,
Yeah.
he looks really, really creepy, but I mean, like the way like if it was, he could be like a horror spider as well if they just had gave him different intentions and all that sort of stuff because he's like his voice and like the
Well, that's what I
relationship.
thought at the beginning. I thought it was going to be like some kind of like, messed up thing,
Yeah,
like a bad trip, you know?
yeah, he could definitely be in a bad trip.
But it turned out to be pretty, if it was a trip, it turned out to be a pretty good trip.
Yeah, but
It was kind of like a trip at the end of the
yeah,
day.
and it's interesting in the book because it kind of suggests to you that he, well, and I guess it's because he's thinking about it as well. But the spider in the has a human mouth and it's got like really red lips and it's got like yellow smoker's teeth. And so the teeth are his dad's teeth, and the lips are his mum's lips.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. But
I'm
he's
glad they
also
didn't do
had this.
that in the
Yeah,
movie.
they have this flashback where part of it is um things after his dad's died, but he sees a spider. And this is all part of the flashback, and so it's sort of heavily suggesting that this is a manifestation. But
Yeah,
then the way it sort of carries on, it's like, well, it's not because he touches him and he's not an hallucination and all this sort of stuff. But
it is like he's totally tripping his face at the whole thing. He's
yeah,
like he's like he's seen a spider in the spaceship and it's just invented a whole
and
character
it's
and he's just yeah, seeing everything from a different light, just like you do when you're tripping,
but they do it in the film and the book, like him sort of talking about this is all classic sort of signs of psychosis and delusion. And he's got all the reasons to be in that state, like loneliness and isolation and stress and yeah, lack of
Yeah,
sleep.
I was worried that it was gonna go a bit bit mental and a bit heavy with that in that sort of respect. So I
Yeah,
was kind of pleased that it just stayed quite. At
same.
first, I'm like, "Fuck Hanoush, man! No, Hanoush is not real. He's not your friend. Just forget Hanoush. Get Hanoush out of your
Yeah,
head." And
yeah,
then real later, you're like, "No, Hanoush, and this is cool. Hanoush can stay."
yeah. I think that's it. Like I'm saying about the first time I watched it, I think yeah, when he like just disappeared and he was gone, it was like, oh. Whereas like the second time, because I knew that was going to happen, it's like it wasn't. I
Yeah,
didn't get that sort of big sad dip at the end.
yeah,
But yeah, I do remember that the first time around. But yeah, I mean, you get really emotionally attached. He's a really cool spider. Like a spider, I want him to be like Kanish.
maybe not quite as big. I mean,
Like
maybe a bit awkward. Take a lot of space. Eat a lot of Nutella.
yeah,
I'd like a little mini Hanoush would be cool. But just not. I mean, he's massive.
yeah. You could probably ride him. Get a little saddle.
And is he from in the book? Is he from some planet, some random planet? What happened to his planet? Something happened to his planet.
Well, those things that eat him at the end
Oh,
have
they're the ones that killed off his
yeah
species.
killed off the species. So he is the last of his kind.
So that's the same in the book,
Yeah.
right? It was
So
so weird. So what do you think of Adam Sandler then? He was pretty good in it.
I thought he was amazing in it.
Yeah.
Just I didn't think he had that in him, but I thought he was great.
I was trying to think afterwards. I was trying to think, have I ever seen him like do not just a stupid
I'd not.
like school level humor. A lot of his
Yeah.
movies are that kind of like just silly, like
Goofball,
teenagers.
slapstick.
So
Yeah.
teenagers love it, but it's just a lot of it's just bad taste or stupid or annoying or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't think I think the only film that I mean I think I've seen a few movies he's been alright in, but they're always that kind of stuff. Um, but the one he was in recently, he was just in The Voice that I really liked was that Leo. Remember I told yeah, you've seen it, haven't you?
Yeah, no, yeah, so I like that as well. I wasn't expecting big things of that, but I
No,
was
it was
like
pretty good.
that was cool, yeah.
It
I
was
liked
really
it.
good. And
Yeah.
I thought his acting then that's the first time I thought, oh, he could get act because even though it was only voice acting, he wasn't just acting like an idiot or
Yeah.
a pain in the ass. He was like, it was good voice acting.
Yeah.
That was the first
I,
time I thought, oh, maybe he can act that guy. I was Adam Sandler. I was quite surprised then. So I
yeah.
wasn't. So yeah, yeah. Seems like he can act, for sure.
I think so. I mean, I mean, if he couldn't, that film wouldn't work because he's so pivotal to it as well. He's
Sure,
just it all
exactly.
revolves around him. But yeah, I thought he
It
was
it probably
really
helped.
good
He
in it.
was because I mean, if he was just he could have easily played it like could have just come across stupid, and just like it was
Yeah.
all a big joke. And so you saying about, poignant sort of feeling at the end of it, you wouldn't have got that if it had been all just like, oh, it was just kind of a laugh. If he wasn't pulling off the acting, he would have just seemed just kind of silly. Even though it might be an alright film, but he was kind of silly. But because, so his acting actually was a big factor in how sort of profound it felt.
No,
Yeah.
100%.
Who's the other actors? There was that Italian actress. She's quite famous. She was like the head of the NASA people.
Don't know her. I
Yeah,
know who you mean.
yeah, you would recognize the name if you could remember it. But yeah, it was all good acting as well, for sure.
And just, I mean, it was well put together. I like the way they did all the technology stuff. They gave you that. Um,
It wasn't that
it,
much about space though, really, was it? It was like
no,
it was almost like a drama or a sort of what do you call it when you get like one person shows in theater and stuff? You get those kind of monologues or whatever. It was
yeah,
almost
I know
like
what you mean.
that just happened to be set in space. You could always
Yeah,
imagine they'd actually work quite well on stage. You could have someone just doing most of it on stage. Someone's doing the voice of Hanush over the microphone, and they have the main actor on the stage with a spotlight in the spaceship. It would work pretty well because
yeah,
that's
uh,
basically it.
yeah. That was a small set, a little bit of time and
But it
space,
could have
but
been anywhere in a way, anywhere that was. What other jobs do you get that you're totally solitary for months? Any kind of job, it would have worked. It wouldn't have had to be in space, you know what I mean? It would have worked in any kind of like somebody is out in sea for months on his own or something, or
submarine or
yeah,
yeah, whatever. Yeah, totally. But I mean, I still quite like the way they did it because, like, I like it when you have these sort of it's like an alternate universe type thing, alternate reality, and so it's based on what we know, but it's like obviously Czech Republic never went to space, but it's at a
yeah,
time when like the technology's good, but it's still pretty janky and it looks kind of retro, which I think is different. I think in the book it seems to be more modern, but I
right.
still quite like that. Which so brings me back to Alien Earth because you're saying you didn't like that.
Wasn't so much I didn't like it, I just didn't get into it. We watched the first episode or maybe two episodes, and
Wasn't
it just felt like not that well. It felt like a TV version of Alien or something. And then the whole thing about were they putting how did they put the minds of children into adults to say because they were dying so they could basically transfer like the soul or something, or what were they transferring?
obviously as the consciousness.
Consciousness or soul,
So
whatever
it's
you
like
want.
they could only do kids because adult minds were too brittle or something like that, so it wouldn't work.
So that whole thing was it was kind of interesting, but then it started to be it was just on a spaceship and the aliens were and it was shooting aliens. I'm thinking, which way is this going to go? Is it going to be more? It feels like two kind of quite big ideas. Is it going to be more about this idea that you can transfer consciousness, or is it going to be more about killing, just shooting aliens? And that's just like a side bit of it. So, and it just seemed like the production just seemed like not quite Doctor Who level, but it was like it just seemed didn't seem like movie level quality, and I just something I don't know, it just wasn't. I'm not that into like just shooting aliens. I probably liked Alien. No, Aliens was good. I like them. It's hard to how can you choose between Alien and Aliens? What do you
Yeah,
prefer? Can't
I
really
think
choose,
like you
can
say,
you?
yeah. I mean, it's those two, and then the rest of them are, but
They're different movies, so you can't say I like this one better because if they were trying to do the same thing, then you could say that one's doing it better. But they're not trying to do the same thing.
yeah, but they're both just classics. So
I mean,
it's like,
Alien, the first one, I would if I had to say at the end of the day, I would say Alien's a better movie. Just out of just pure skill of how it's done, the
yeah,
acting, the way it's shot, the way it's written. It just that if you had to pick one for me, that's the best movie because it's just so well done and not as big a budget. not as many effects, and probably more tension and everything. So it's in the way Jaws is like a lot of it's just tension because they don't have the effects like they do now.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm not so into the just shooting aliens so much as I probably liked Alien more to be honest, but um that series where they're like when it got to I was kind of into it first and then yeah, it was just the production and then the shooting aliens and I'm kind of like meh, just don't know, nothing really. I've just felt there was nothing interesting happening. Yeah, I don't know. Why is it good? You could tell me
Yeah.
it's really good.
I mean, I wouldn't say it was amazing, but I quite enjoyed it. But what I liked about it is that they like obviously done it. That it's supposed to be done and it's supposed to happen at around about the same time that the first Alien film happens.
Right. Or is it
But what
not a
I thought they were
prequel?
doing,
Right.
well, I
That can't be because
don't know. I don't know the Alien lore well enough. But
no,
I mean,
me neither.
obviously,
I certainly don't know a timeline or anything.
maybe it's just after because obviously they know about these things and they're going out to go and get them. But what it looked like they were doing to me, which I quite liked the thought of, because they had like guy was holding like a handheld like tablet type computer, but it had like a cathode ray tube screen on it. So
What's
it's
that?
like, I mean, like old tellies.
All right.
So it was like it was that type of screen, but it was like this sort of handheld technology, and it was like they were trying to imagine these sort of future gadgets from the perspective of was it late 80s that Alien was made?
Okay, so it's trying to have this like when they're doing Star Wars stuff now, they try and still have those little 70s elements that were in the original Star Wars to keep the
Yeah, so it's like they're making it like they would have made it, and
for
like
the
they're
con
imagining these new concepts, like from the point of view of the technology at the time, which is what people
right.
tend to do. So I thought that's kind of what they're doing, which I quite liked, and they were sort of, and so a lot of the set design had this sort of old feel to it, so it had a sort of nostalgic feel to it, which
Yeah,
I thought was kind of because I mean obviously that's one of the things that they're tapping into with things like Stranger Things. It's that 90s
nostalgia. Yeah.
nostalgia thing because it's a good target audience. But I thought I know that's probably what they're doing, but it's quite a
But you
unique,
were loving it.
different way of
You were
doing it.
lapping
I
up
was
the
like, that's cool.
nostalgia. Give
Yeah.
me more
Um,
nostalgia. I
so
like a bit of
I thought that
nostalgia as
was,
well.
yeah. So I thought it was quite a nice way of doing it. But yeah, I think the storyline, I kind of like it. I like sort of synths and all that sort of
How many episodes have
idea
you
and sort of,
watched?
I think I've watched six of the eight.
Sorry?
I've watched six of the eight episodes.
All right. I thought you said 68. I'm like, geez, how
So
many
yeah,
episodes is
excuse me.
there? I thought that
Yeah, no,
was
there's
wrong,
only
but
eight.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like ethical
You just got me going on a sort of sidetrack
stuff.
thinking about nostalgia. Did you ever see Inside Out,
What they
the
um
animation,
yeah.
Pixar or something? Have you seen the second one?
No, I've not.
Okay, because okay, well you won't. It's not
Um,
funny then because one of the jokes is that she's getting older, she's getting new emotions because in the first one she's only got the five main emotions going
yeah.
on. She's getting older, so she's getting some new emotions, and then there's one in the background. And like, who's that? And it's like, oh, that's nostalgia. You won't get that one for another few years. And it got me thinking how like, yeah, you don't get nostalgia. It only starts happening really, late teens, early 20s. And then
Yeah.
it's like you start, oh, do you remember that thing you used to do? But up until that point, you just don't get it at all, really.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so I mean you need a good 10 years before you start getting in nostalgia, really, don't you?
I mean, our kids like they don't even get nostalgic about stuff from like a year ago. I'm like, oh, do you remember we used to play that? They're like, oh yeah, yeah, it's quite good. I'm like, come on, to remember. It was so, oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny. They don't even like they're just not able to sort of really. They just don't feel nostalgic about anything because they don't have the same sense of time. Maybe they just
Yeah, I
do.
think it depends. I mean, like I sort of noticed Thor and getting nostalgic about certain things. It needs to be the right set of circumstances, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Some things you can get nostalgic about sooner than others. Some
They
things
wouldn't
need
you wouldn't
more time
spend
to pass.
you wouldn't spend too much time dwelling on the nostalgia though. It may be a
No,
fleeting bit of nostalgia, but it won't be like, oh,
yeah,
remember that? Oh, let's talk about it for half an hour. You know,
no, that's true. It's like 2 minutes and move on if you're lucky.
the older you get, the more you're laughing up the nostalgia.
Yeah,
It's funny. Although it's the older you get, the more you start seeing like more. It's like every day there's like somebody that's been in in your sort of like cultural life is just died. You know,
yep,
there's more and
that's
more now. Eh? It's just like,
yeah,
jeez.
yeah. People who were young when you first saw them.
Yeah, they may be like 20 years older than you, but you always knew them as like sort of youngish, you know? And then you're like, oh
Yeah,
shit, they were like 70, 80. Never
yeah.
thought.
Now this is it, and that's yeah, it's only going to get worse now.
Like, come on, we have to keep manifesting positive thoughts. Positive.
Yeah,
It's going to be great getting old.
yeah.
Just imagine it being a brilliant, and it'll be brilliant, you know?
Had I think it was a client. I think was like basically saying they didn't want to go in a nursing home when they got old. They would just go on a cruise ship. So
Who does what?
apparently,
I don't think the problem is nobody does want to go nursing home. It kind of gets done for you. You know what I mean? Nobody
yeah.
goes, oh, do you know what? It's about time I started going, I quite fancy nursing home now. Nobody does that.
But what's he saying is it works out about the same cost wise to go to a nursing home as it does to go on a cruise ship.
Really?
But you've got
Yeah, because these places are
like
fucking expensive, aren't they?
yeah. So it's like you're on a cruise ship for a start, so you've got better weather, but you've got a better doctor to patient ratio on a cruise ship.
Yeah, but if you're someone
Um,
that old, I mean, most people go to these care homes because they're that old, they need like constant care. Can you get that on a cruise ship? That
think if
kind
they
of
let you,
constant, I think if you're at a certain age,
if they if
maybe
they let you on, yeah,
if you're proper old, like most of our care homes, there's no way they'd take you on a cruise ship because you need like your own nurse.
yeah. So you might have to take your own nurse with you as well. I don't know. I like the idea anyway. I thought, yeah, I don't want to go in a nursing home. I'll go on a cruise ship instead.
Like I say, nobody chooses to go to nursing home. They get to a
Yeah,
point they
he's
put it
thinking
off
about
and
it too
then
hard, Marco.
they put it they put it off. I know what are you thinking of that for, man? They
Yeah,
put it off and then before they know it, they can't do anything about it and they're getting chucked there whether they like it or not. And it's like and they're
yeah.
sitting there going, fuck, I knew it was about a couple of years too late for that fucking cruise ship.
That's it.
They're sitting there regretting it for the rest of their days in a fucking old folks home.
Yeah, got to time it right.
Exactly. Just, be one step ahead of them.
I don't know, the guy. He was like, he was an interesting guy. He was an American guy, and he was at Edinburgh University as a lecturer, but he retired. He gave me £100 tip, and he retired, and he moved to Belize.
Wait, what's that? Give you £100 tip?
Yeah.
What for?
Well, I was doing massage. He was a client as a massage
Oh, your
therapist, the night
client.
before he
Sorry,
said,
I thought you were talking about a client with your current job, right?
"All right, no, yeah." So yeah, we used to have interesting chats and stuff.
He gave you £100 tip, nice. Right?
And because he retired, so that was him done. And he was moving to Belize, because
Where's
he
that?
quite liked South America. Um, but yeah, you get a lot more for your money there. So that was his sort of
Better weather, better fruit and veg.
yeah, and it's cheap living.
Yeah.
So you get a big house and like great seafood and nice food and all that sort of stuff. But
It's like you say, it's all in the timing, and unfortunately, most of us don't get to choose what the timing is.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But if you're lucky enough to just time it just right, then
yeah.
yeah, that's definitely the way to go. Something along those lines for sure.
There's an announcement this week that their like retirement age for us is likely to go up between 12 to 24 months. So at the moment it's 67, but it's pretty likely it'll be 68 or 69.
Right.
So it's like 69. It's like
What does that actually mean, though? I mean, because technically you can retire when you want, right?
Yeah, state pension.
So it's just for the state pension, which is fuck all anyways, is it not?
Well, yeah,
So I mean, if you wanted to go 5 years without the state pension, you could still jump onto the state pension in 5 years' time, could you not?
I
If
guess
you had the cash.
if you had the pension, which I don't.
No, but I don't mean for the pension, but like, why are we talking about this, man? We're not that old yet. We're getting there, to be fair, but we're not quite there. Jeez,
Uh,
come on, manifesting.
we were talking about is it care homes and cruise ships, but why were we talking about that? I can't remember.
I can't remember. We were talking about cruise.
Yeah,
Honestly, I can't remember.
we were on nostalgia at one point.
Nostalgia. Yeah.
Nostalgia led into it.
I mean, let's face it, you're stuck in a care home. Nostalgia's all you got. You're fucking sick of sight nostalgia by then. You'd be like,
Yeah,
I used to like nostalgia until it was all I had. Now I fucking hate it.
yeah,
You'd be like, fucking nostalgia. I remember. So obviously you're gonna you'd be like take it back to Spaceman. Sitting in a care home or being that age wherever you are and spending a lot of time just sitting and doing not very much. You probably are just going, just spending most of your life just flashbacks, just thinking back, reflecting, thinking back, remembering stuff. Are you not probably?
yeah. I think a lot of people do. I just think about it though. It's like by the time we get to that age, thinking like virtual reality, augmented reality is going to be significantly better than it is now.
Meaning what?
So like you could be sitting in a nursing home, and you can't do that much, but you could put these goggles on, and you could go and fly through space and do all that sort of shit.
Oh, like a VR headset type thing.
Yeah, so you could sort of like have more of a virtual reality world that you could explore even if your legs are knackered.
Yeah,
It's like,
I think a lot of time people in care homes are just, I don't know, I'm not even sure they'd be capable of doing that. I mean, it depends, it's got dementia and stuff like that. I don't know how that would work.
yeah,
Um,
no, it does different levels. Obviously, you get to the point where there's not that much you can do, and your quality of life's probably not that great.
yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I guess there's an element of like that kind of nostalgia and stuff in Spaceman. I mean, that's kind of like how much of what he was remembering was reality and how much was nostalgia. Maybe he was remembering it to be like amazing and like just because he'd been lonely for so long, and then maybe go back and like, no, I remember why I wanted to go up to the space station. A
Yeah,
few weeks back, and he's like, "Oh man, what was I
yeah,
thinking? What was it? Anush, what did you talk
yeah.
me into here?"
That'll be Spaceman too.
It'll be more like your classic Sandler movie.
Yeah,
Oh dear. Poor Hanish, man.
yeah. Lenka was just a total nightmare to live with.
Surely
Total nightmare.
not. I find that hard
Yeah.
to imagine. Surely not.
Uh,
Uh, so what would you give Spaceman out of 10?
the first time I watched it, I think I probably would have given it a 9.
Yeah. Oh, but it's gone down now, is it?
I didn't enjoy it as much. I think it's probably that sort of it's like an impact film.
So to me, you didn't enjoy it as much, and there's not only did you not enjoy it as much, but also you thought it wasn't as good a movie as you originally thought. So was it just not enjoying as much, or was it actually thinking, actually, this isn't actually as good as movies I remembered?
I think so. I think it was a good movie, but it's a sort of movie that part of it is its impact on you. And so if you see it like the other film that I remember not knowing anything about and just going wow was Dusk Till Dawn.
All
I went to go
right,
and
yeah.
see it in the cinema, and I thought that was Quentin Tarantino road trip movie. I didn't know
Yeah,
anything about the vampires, and then
there's
that
a
sort of kicked
twist.
in. It's
Yeah,
like it's that sort of twist, and it's like, oh wow, that's great. And so like I didn't know anything about Spaceman. I thought it was going to be something completely different to what it was. Um, but also just the storyline, like we're saying, that sort of emotional connection you get with Thanos, and when he dies, it's just like that. Well,
well, the second time you weren't bothered, Julie. All right, so that's you're
well,
just gone. Right, what time
well,
is
just
it?
because I knew it was
Get to
going to happen, so it wasn't
bed.
like I didn't get that same because we were both saying we had that sort of emotional roller coaster we were on. And the second time around, it was hard to be on that emotional roller coaster. So I think it's like some films you can watch them again and again, and it's like you you get the same kind of ride out of it, where it's harder to get that with this type of film. So
Yeah, I get that, and I would say the majority of movies are best if they're the first time you watch them. Although I can think of a few that I actually enjoyed more, like the second or third viewings. But
yeah,
I would say most movies you enjoy the best the first time.
yeah, I think
Uh,
so.
some people, I mean, Jane, she said she never used to like watch movies a second time ever. She'd be like, "I've seen that, I'm watching that again."
I very, very rarely do it.
See, I love what I like. I've that's why I have my Blu-ray collection. I love watching movies
Yeah,
again and again. I'll be oh that I'll watch that one. I feel like this one. I feel it because they all give me feelings and emotions and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I feel like a laugh. Oh, I feel like the adventure. I feel like being in that world. And so uh, I love watching movies again. And some of them do get better. Some of them are like
yeah.
fine wines or whatever, you know.
So I
Uh,
think, yeah, I think second time round maybe 7.5.
wow, that's pretty low, dude. I don't know. I would say I was close. I would say the first time I mean I've only watched it once, and I would say at least an eight.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, like the first time I watched it, I'd say it was a 9 for me. I loved it.
Um, yeah, I'd give it eight, eight and a half, maybe even nine. Yeah, but maybe not nine. Nine I would reserve for just like my totally favorite movies. But and so I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite movies because yeah, maybe like you're saying, having watched it again, there's not that much to it. So it's not
Yeah,
like visually, there's not that much to see. It's the spider and the inside of the pod. That's it.
yeah,
Um, there's not a lot of characters to, when you movies that you can watch again, there's usually a lot of going on in the scenery. There's lots of different characters, lots of different dialogue between
yeah,
characters and different scenes that you can notice more things the more times you watch it.
yeah,
But the pace of that movie, you pretty much catch everything the first time you watch it.
yeah. I think that's it. That's what it comes down to. So, I mean, I think like as a first watch, it was a really good film. It's yeah, I don't think it'd be one that you'd want to watch over and over again.
Yeah, that's fine though. See, I find
But
movies like that, I would still buy the DVD because I like it. I would just not watch it. I'd probably watch it once every 5 to 10 years, as opposed
yeah,
to watch it every couple of years. Or some movies I can watch two, three times in a year. But like Jaws, I don't know how many times I've seen that, but I can. For me, I can just watch that. I don't know. I mean, some movies I can just watch. Some movies I'm like put on wherever you want. Doesn't matter what I'm doing, where I am, what mood I'm in. Stick it on. Yeah, I'll watch it.
yeah. I've not had that with many. I mean, I've like probably only really the Star Wars ones that I've watched lots of times. Um, yeah, I can just stick them on and dip in and out of them. And I've not for ages because like Tar never really got into them that much.
Yeah.
He still never watched a whole Star Wars movie from start to finish.
Our boys have watched, I'm not sure start to finish. They've watched a decent amount, but yeah, they never really got into them, unfortunately. I mean, I tried big time, but I didn't never tried to push it. I was like, well, you have to watch this, but I'd put it on, hey, let's put this on. Yeah, okay. And then, yeah, quite often not make it to the end and stuff. Like, okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. But do you remember the time when you couldn't actually just watch? It's crazy how much you've seen Star Wars now because there's a time when you couldn't just watch whenever you wanted.
I don't know if it was on so I think it was even on was it on video? It probably
It
was.
came out in yeah, it came out in VHS, but I mean, it wasn't for a while. It came out in
Yeah.
VHS. It wasn't like it came out in I
Straight
think
after the film.
I think
Yeah.
for most of the 80s you couldn't get it on video. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I had Star my grand taped Star Wars off the TV, so I'd seen Star Wars millions of times because anytime it was at my grand's, I'd watch it pretty much, and so I'd seen Star Wars like loads of times, but the other ones not so much. And now I've seen
Yeah,
them
they
all
were.
loads.
Yeah, I remember going to see. I remember going to see them at the cinema. I think
All
it
of them.
must have been.
The original
Well, I
one.
think yeah. I mean, it must have been later on. So it was maybe like when they were showing them again when the late ones out. Because I think it was Return of the Jedi that was out when we were old
83.
enough to actually
Jedi was 83.
83. That makes sense. So we would have been seven-ish or something like that.
So one of my earliest memories is going to see, it was standing in the queue to go and see a double bill of Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. It must have been about the time Empire Strikes Back came out, but it was it's like a real one of those memories where, you don't have many memories of, you're that young. So, and Empire came out in 1980, and I was born in 77. So I was probably only 3 or 4, and I remember my mum taking me to this double bill of Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. And then Gran had in like 81 or something. My gran videoed Star Wars. It was on the telly at Christmas one time, so I'd watched Star Wars loads. But my memory of Empire Strikes Back was always just kind of like a dream-like memory because I had seen it, but I was so young couldn't really remember it. But I had so
Yeah,
many toys and books and posters with bits of Empire Strikes Back. They were all referencing to this kind of dream memory of Empire Strikes Back. So between that and the toys and stuff, it felt like I'd seen it loads, but I hadn't really until it came
yeah.
out in video eventually.
I was funny. I was saying that I realized recently because we watched Ramble. I just always thought I'd seen it. I'd never seen it. But it's one of those things. It's like you talked about it so much. It was so talked about at school that yeah, for whatever reason, I just felt like I'd seen it. But
When did you watch it?
um,
Recently.
this year, yeah,
What's the first time you seen it?
yeah,
I was the same man, but it was about 10 years ago or something. I watched. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen this. You obviously knew everyone knows Rambo, but
yeah.
I never. And I watched. And I was like, man, that was a fucking good movie. I was like, man, Rambo's really good. I
I
think I'd
was
maybe seen bits on telly of like Rambo 4 or something, and and thought this is a load of rubbish. And then seeing Rambo 1, which is so much better than the other ones, I was like, wow, that's actually a really good movie.
it just wasn't what I expected at all.
Did you like it? It's great, no?
Yeah, but I just thought it was just going to be all action, like mindless action sort of stuff. But
Because that's what the
it's
later ones were.
thoughtful.
That's what the
Yeah,
later ones are like, just action movies or just your standard 80s action movie. It could be anywhere, it could be anyone in it. There's loads of people shooting in a jungle and
yeah.
stuff and
Most
whatever.
of it, I was going to be like the 18, basically.
Yeah, or Predator or one of those sort of, the
Yeah,
same with that. The first Predator's really good, and then the later ones are all kind of rubbish. And all these 80s movies, I think the 80s were maybe when they first started bringing out these kind of sequels, probably the most, no?
I think yeah, it was like a model that they came up with. You have like a hit movie, and then you just keep the franchise going. But they weren't very good at it at that point.
No, and pretty much every time the first one was really good and the rest were just rubbish.
Yeah, they just tried to copy the same formula.
But yeah, Rambo was a great movie. I thought it was really good. Um, I kind of thought the same about Rocky as well, but not quite as good a movie. But I was still quite surprised how much kind of soul there was to it. I thought, considering, I mean, it's quite a basic movie, Rocky, but and if you've only seen the later
Yeah,
ones, they're just kind of silly. But that first one's got, it's got some nice drama and bit of soul to it. It's
yeah.
quite good.
I mean, he wrote them both, I think, didn't
Did he write that? No.
he?
Did
Yeah,
he?
I'm almost sure of that he wrote those two.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty cool. Because was it something like he wrote it, but then they didn't want him to be in it, and then he was like, he really wanted to be in it, and then
Yeah, I think I
somehow
did
he
hear
got the
something about
job.
that.
Because I think it was his first acting job. But actually, I remember I was thinking about that because there's this sort of running joke in Hollywood, or there used to be between Schwarzenegger and Stallone. Like there's some movies where they're kind of, when he looks up at the poster, he goes, nah, because it's like an Arnold Schwarzenegger looking at a Stallone picture and going, nah, and like they have these little joke between like who's the bigger star, or whatever.
Yeah,
But To me, obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger is massive, but acting wise, Stallone's way better than. I mean, I don't know if really.
It
I
doesn't really
like
act.
I like what's his face?
Arnie,
Schwarzenegger, but he's not a good at. I don't think I've seen a single movie where he's like acting well in it. I mean, can you?
no, I don't think so. He's always just himself when he's
Yeah. And if that works in the character
yeah,
and then it works, and if it doesn't, then it's a shit.
yeah.
Whereas I
I mean, he
think
was
Sto
great. Terminator 2, classic performance.
yeah, playing a fucking robot. What does that say about his
Yeah,
acting skills if he's typecast as a robot?
it works really well. It works really well.
I wonder if you can get like a AI voice to do Arnie voice. That'd be quite funny.
Uh, yeah, for sure.
That'd be
You could
good.
get him like, not just do the voice, but you could like have the visuals,
I want my
do whatever
chat
you want.
GB I want to speak to my chat GBT with Arnie voice. That'd be cool. Um, yeah, Fallout. So after watching the series, I never played the game. I'd had the game, but I never played it. I've got a few games like that. Just I don't know. Anyway, watched the series. Totally loved it. Like totally loved it. Jane liked it, but she was like, she could tell I was liking it even more. I mean, I absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
So I was like, I'm gonna try like read about the game, and I don't know if you ever Googled when you want to get into a game and you go on Google and you say like, what's the best one? Is it one, two, three, or four?
yeah, yeah,
And they always say, oh, it has to be this one. It has to be like this one. And it's like some ancient one, and you go and play it, and it's just fucking shit because it's old and it's shit and it's old. It was only
yeah,
good because nostalgia.
yeah,
They're like remember it because they had a good time when like 10 years ago playing it or something. Anyway, so it's kind of like that. I went to play this in Fallout, and it was I could tell, I could imagine it being like an amazing game to play when it first came out on a PC or something, because it was a lot of like it was really role play. Like, what would you want to do next, and setting up your character, and like, and lots of dialogue, and like, what are you going to do next, and every decision you make shapes your journey and stuff, like role playing.
yeah,
So I could see how that has, probably is the better game. But I was sitting on my console with this big screen playing it, and it just looked shit. And it was lots, and with the console controls, it was lots going about different boxes, choosing things up and down menus, and I was like, oh, fucking.
yeah. Because that was, I mean, that was the first one's not like quite cartoony as well. A lot of sort of like,
Mm. Sorry, I didn't play the first one. The first one, yeah, is like kind of Zelda or something, like the early Zeldas. Like, it's kind of,
yeah,
yeah,
so
no,
like real role play stuff. But
yeah, no, this was like. I knew I didn't want to play a game like that, so I remember thinking, right, I get the sort of the other one they recommended was when it went into the kind of first person game. Uh, so I played the oldest of the ones that went to that kind of perspective because everything was really good, but I couldn't get into the graphics were shit. It was all really grim colors. Everything was like just sort of grey brown, everything. And it was just loads of like menus and decisions to make, and nothing ever seemed to be happening. Just be wandering about. It was just so then I was like, right, I'm just gonna play like what's the most sort of modernist version because I do like games with good graphics as well. Obviously, anyone likes a good game, but I do like, especially with the big telly and stuff. If I'm playing on a console, I like good graphics. It helps kind of take you in there. Now that we're used to good graphics, you know what I mean? So I played the latest
yeah,
one, and it's not bad. It's pretty good. It was definitely better. It's quite good at the beginning. You've got to make your way out of the underground thing, a bit like a TV show. You've got to make your way
yeah,
out. You basically what's happened is yeah, I played Fallout 4. So what's happened is it's like it starts off you're in this kind of futuristic 50s type, and you're at home with your wife and kid. And then a guy comes to the door and says, "Oh, just to let you know that you've been selected to go to these underground places." And you go, "All right, thanks very much, but we really won't need them, blah blah blah." And then suddenly there's a nuclear attack, and you and your wife and kids go off under one of these bunkers. That's the word I'm looking for.
yeah, yeah,
Right, so you go into the bunker. This is the beginning of the game, and you're not really doing anything. That you're just like, oh, walk into the kitchen, and you're just kind of playing through the intro, and
Uh-huh.
then you go into one of these into sort of a pod thing that you're like
Right.
frozen, like where you're like frozen or whatever, and they close the lid down, and that's it. And then you half wake up at one point, and through the wee window, they see them going to your wife's pod and like shooting her and taking the kid. And then you kind of black out again. And then you come to again, and it's like there's nobody around, and there's just dead people and stuff. And you're like, fuck. So then you have to make your way out of the bunker.
All right.
So that's pretty good. That's pretty fun. And you're collecting wee things, you're like collecting bullets and wee bits bobs, and you're stashing them. You've got a wee menu, and then you've got to work out to get out, which took me. And then I got to one of these bits, which is why I hate games sometimes. When you get to a bit and you're like, "What am I fucking supposed to do now?" And then you're going
Yeah.
back, looking, was I supposed to do something here? And wandering in circles, and then eventually realize you need to get one of those wee TV things that they put on their arms. What do they
Yeah.
call
Yeah.
it?
I can't remember.
Something
I know what you
boy,
know.
a something boy,
Yeah, that rings a bell.
like a scat Pip Boy,
Yeah.
PIP, Pip Boy.
Well,
PIP
remember
stands
it,
for
man.
some. Yeah. So once you get that, you can then open the door. There's a dead guy lying on the ground that was controlling the door, and he's wearing one of these. You have to take that off him. Then you can control and open the door. That's a bit of a spoiler if you play it, but trust me, I'm doing you a favor telling you.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't like that in games where, um, like Felix played all the Halo games. He loves the Halo games, and so like I've tried to play Halo games, and it was never really my cup of tea. Like these
First
first-person shooter
person
games.
shooters, yeah. Well, the good thing about this is not just a shooter. You are like a lot of the time you just wander about on your own.
Yeah.
And so it is pretty good. I'll probably play it again, but I played it for a few days and like I realized, eh, there's not a lot to do, and you're basically it's kind of like what I was saying about how with movies, like whatever that those neurons is. We're talking about how the neurons when you're watching a movie are the same neurons firing as if you're going through the
Yeah.
experience. Well, my ones, I don't know if I'm very sensitive to them or whatever, but I find movies have a big effect on me. That's why I don't really go watching horror movies and stuff because they really affect me like afterwards, like it stays in my brain sort of thing, and so like I can't just. And I'm a bit like that with computer games. So if the thing about this game is like it's a good game, it's well made. There's loads of stuff to do. There's this massive world. It's basically open world, it's just like the TV show. You just wander a bit. It's open world, trying to work out what to do and little mini quests and collecting things and it's pretty cool, but you're essentially just walking about this nuclear sort of wasteland, and it's like kind of it makes me feel depressed. So,
Yeah.
but it's a good game, but and I was telling actually a guy the other day about it, and he was like, "Oh, that's typical Bethesda is like I think I don't know how to pronounce it, but Bethesda's like the what do they call it? The
Um, Software house or whatever it is.
yeah,
Game developer.
the game developer. Yeah, they're a developer. Apparently, that's typical. Other games are like kind of like
Bleak.
bleak. Yeah, but
Dystopia.
yeah, but I think I mean they've done a bit better than the other game because they do actually have some blue skies and colors, whereas the older one that I played, it was literally all just grays and browns, and that was even more depressing.
Yeah. And it was all the like 50s music and stuff, wasn't
Yeah, you have a bit of the music, although I tend to turn music off in games. I prefer just having my own music and then just having like the sound. I leave the sound effects, but I tend to turn the music off because I don't like because it kind of gets repetitive. Don't like
it?
the
Yeah.
repetitiveness.
You get like the occasional game that just has a really good soundtrack that you want to listen to, but yeah, pretty rare. I can't think of any good examples, but
So basically, I would recommend playing it. I think you'd enjoy it. Like,
me too. It's just like finding the time. That's what I was saying. It's like getting good enough at these first person shooters. So I did play Borderlands 2. No, it wasn't that. It was I did play Borderlands. I thought it was kind of good, but I never got massively into it, and some people totally loved
is
it.
that also sort of post-apocalyptic or is that just sci-fi?
Yeah, it's sort of it's not post-apocalyptic, but it's like this sort of dystopian future, and various
Kind
different,
of Mad Maxy.
yeah, a bit like that. Bits of Mad Maxi in space. Um, I think, yeah, I could have got into that, but it wasn't. It was, I'm not gonna remember now. It's really annoying. Google it or something.
What's
It's like
that?
these like or Titanfall 2.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Is that good?
Played that, and that was actually really good. Um, it's like because what I don't like is games that you have to spend like hours and hours before you even can
Get to
play
the
them
meat of
well
it.
enough to yeah. Whereas this you just sort of you did like a quick tutorial and you could basically do everything. And like the gameplay is really good, really intuitive, but it changed enough like from level to level that you got new abilities that were still easy to pick up but kept the gameplay
What's the sto-
interesting and exciting.
what's the scenario for that game?
Um, so it's like I mean it is a sort of dystopian future, but it's not like a really grim, doesn't make you feel grim or that grim. But it's not a great situation, but there's a bit of sort of time travel involved in it, and um, it's a sort of good versus bad type thing. So you're these titans, like you're like a pilot. You have and you have these sort of big titan suits, like gun suits, like they're
A
massive
mech.
big mechs, yeah. But you have like this, they're intelligent, you're intelligent, and you have to like match them and like link to them and like bond with them and all that sort of
So you
stuff.
spend most of the time in these suits.
So yeah, you're also because you're a pilot, you're like super skilled fighter type thing. So like sometimes you're out doing the stuff that you do as a pilot human being, and sometimes you're in the mech, and so it's a different sort of type of gameplay between the two.
That sounds
So
pretty
it's like
good.
it was good, and I mean it was quite short. I think it's mostly there's an online multiplayer game, and it's like a
Right.
platform for that, but they've done this sort of story modes just to make the game seem more complete or something like that. So it wasn't a long story, but it was quite a good story. I thought it's quite enjoyable.
You ever done that multiplayer stuff?
Not that much, just because I'm so rubbish. I just get killed.
Yeah, I
Like
remember.
some
I
people can hold
remember
their own.
years ago when I first got like a PC for playing games, like years ago, like 20 odd years ago or whatever. I remember doing a couple of things online, and like you say, you just come on and just there always just seems to be assholes on it, like that seem to be spending. If these, you're like, have they spent their fucking entire life on this fucking thing, just waiting for me to come on so they can shit on me? It's like, what's the fucking point?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
They just
But
live on there.
because I used to play football games like most of the time when I was like playing PlayStation and all that sort of stuff. And so I used to play online playing Pro Evolution Soccer. It was at the time.
Yeah.
And it's like some of the folk on that just such massive arseholes and they're just so horrible on it. It's like I just want to play football.
It
Don't want
just
to
reminds
like
it just reminds me of Laser Quest. Remember going to Laser Quest for the first time, and there'd always be some guy just sitting in the corner, just getting everybody just spend all day in there, and you just like ruining everybody's game.
sniper.
Yeah, like that. It's just like that. It's like the online version
Yeah,
of that. There's always some
yeah, pretty
fucking
much.
guys just spend their life on there, just getting a kick out of being better than everyone else.
But did try a Halo multiplayer sort of one time, and it was just like that. It was like Fate's played it quite a lot. He could just about sort of hold his own on it, but I mean, I was just getting like spawn killed all the time. It's like just spent literally over half of the time just coming back to life and being dead.
I think for me, it'd be more than half the time.
Yeah.
Like, is this on PC or with on
So on Xbox,
See, the thing for me, and I've talked to so many people about this, waiting for the magic solution, and apparently there isn't a magic solution. I cannot do shooting with the wee fucking joystick things you get on the controllers. I just cannot do it. And
yeah,
I mean, okay, I haven't practiced loads and loads, but I've done it enough over the years. I should be able to do it by now, but I just cannot do it. And I
I'm
know
kind
that
of the
like
same.
but then I've asked people, I've Googled it and all, and it seems just like some people just are able to do it just with loads of practice, but most people. I read somewhere that it was like if you had the best player on on a controller versus the best player on a PC, best player on PC would always win because it's just that faster, where you can be more accurate more quickly, basically, with a mouse, just
Yeah,
go across the screen.
100%. Yeah, just
So,
yeah,
because when I first played any good game, like sort of first person versus third person, but like was the Jedi Outcast. Do you remember that?
Mm, I don't think I ever saw that actually.
Ah, so good. It's kind of like the newer ones now. Have you played the Jedi what's it called? Fallen Order.
No,
The newer, well, not even newer, the
I've
more.
not really played any. Like the only sort of Star Wars one I played recently is Battlefront. Star Wars Battlefront.
Wow.
Not
Well,
really played any Star Wars
Jedi
games.
Knight, Jedi Outcast was fucking brilliant. I played it loads. It was the first game I played loads on like on my own. Yeah, and like as a grown up, and I used to like put my headphones on and just on a on an old laptop, put headphones on, lights off, and just be on it for ages, just so immersed. Like imagine I was in Star Wars, and that was with a mouse and a keyboard and stuff, and it was great because you could do all the functions just on keys. Just hit a key, and then for when you're trying to shoot stormtroopers, in the mouse it was dead intuitive and stuff and accurate, and it was great. And so I've played, and so the new Jedi Fallen Order ones that have been out, there's two now. The second one, you have to get the latest Xbox or PlayStation to play it, so I don't have that. But I'm still on the first one anyway. But that's kind of similar idea, you know. They don't call it first person if you're like behind the guy. That's isn't it? Or is that still called first person? Like you can see him walking about, even though you're controlling them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess what's third person? I don't know.
Anyway,
Don't
they're
know
like
what the
that.
technical term is.
They're like that. You can see you to pull a lightsaber. You see you pull out a lightsaber. It's like more because most first person games you can do that, but it doesn't work quite as well. You know the targeting and stuff is a bit off because it's really designed to be first person. Like you don't see yourself at all other than maybe your hand. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Whereas the Jedi ones were the opposite. They were more designed to be so it was really well easy to target and fight in that.
yeah. Okay.
And oh man, I loved that so much. I never got into video games as much as that because you were going about space stations, sneaking about, and then you'd hear like the sort of the stormtrooper speaking, and you're like, oh fuck, where's the stormtrooper? And then you
Oh, that
sneaking
sounds pretty
around,
cool.
and you sneaking around the space station, and you see them, and you try and like aim and try and get on them, and then but you had a lightsaber as well. There was this guy called Kai Tarn, and he was basically like he was a mix of basically Luke Skywalker and Han Solo. So you were a Jedi, but you had the cool gun and you were a cool dude sort of thing. It was brilliant.
Okay, it's clever.
I've got like an old laptop
Do
with the game just so that I can play it one day. I haven't played it since then, but one day I'm gonna just sit down for a weekend and just play it again.
you think it would still be playable, enjoyable?
Yeah, because I've got an old laptop with like Windows
No,
XP.
but I mean, like, do you think you would still find it as enjoyable?
Not again, like because I was what I say because of the graphics not being as good, it would probably take me out
Yeah.
a bit, but only the graphics. The actual game, I think I'd enjoy just as
No,
much.
because it does sound cool. You can
But
put
you'd
there's
have to,
probably a simulator of it online
yeah.
somewhere.
Well, they brought it out for Switch, but I read the reviews and people are saying, "Oh, it's not as good in Switch because it doesn't it doesn't work with the controls. You can't do all the things properly and stuff."
Mm.
Basically, it needs to be played. That's why I've got this old laptop. It needs to be played on an old laptop. You put it on the big screen, it looks shit because of the graphics.
Yeah.
Play it on an old lap or a small laptop, you know, with your mouse and keyboard, sit down nice and comfy, all your tweets around you, and just play it for a few hours. Just da-da-da. Yeah, fun.
What was it called again?
Jedi. It was called the first one was Jedi Knight. No, it's called Jedi Outcast, Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast, and the second one was Jedi Academy. There was two.
Okay.
I think the first one was better though. The first one was there was apparently one before that was like a sort of this was the one first played was like the next version of the next of the series, but I've seen the graphics on the one before it, and it looks similar gameplay, but the graphics are even worse. I think
Hmm.
that where I started was probably about right, like. But you know, because have you heard of Dark Forces?
Nope.
Well, you know Mandalorian, right? You know how
Yeah,
you know when he's taking Grogu, you know at the end of the second season, and he's taking Grogu after meeting Ahsoka, she goes, just take him to this wee hill bit and he'll sit on there and he'll work out what to do. And he puts him on this wee hill and he goes into like a sort of um force field while he's kind of meditating. He goes into sort of trance.
yeah. It rings a bell.
Dude, how many times don't tell me you've only seen Mandalorian once.
Yeah,
Seriously? You've only seen it once?
yeah,
Oh man. I rewatched it. I've rewatched it two or three times, maybe four times. But I rewatched it again recently. Because I saw a trailer for the new movie come out and it was made me want to rewatch it. And
yeah. I might do that.
oh man, it's really good, especially the first two seasons. Especially the first season. The first season is just the second season. I think if anything, it loses a bit of the focus because they start introducing so many different characters. Ahsoka comes in, Bo-Katan comes in. Boba Fett comes in, all these other characters come in, and so it loses a little bit. The first season is just brilliant. If you're not like emotional by the end of the first season with that scene with IG-8 comes in, IG-11 sort of comes in on the bike. You've got the bit before where Quail's trying to get back to the spaceship before the biker scouts are chasing after him. Do you remember? And they're like, "Get Grogu." This is You have to rewatch it. It's so good,
Yeah,
man.
no, I think I will.
So good.
No, I remember really enjoying the first season in particular that you see.
You've always been
But
a
I
big
think,
Boba Fett fan, have you not?
yeah, it's more sort of a cult thing because now Boba Fett in the actual movies isn't in it that much. I thought,
No. But that's what people liked about him because he was got this
yeah,
mysterious character. He just looked cool.
yeah.
Yeah, and he looked cool, and you knew you wouldn't mess with him as well. You know, he just had that air about him that you wouldn't fuck with him. You know what I mean?
Did watch a bit of Book of Boba Fett. I don't think it was that great.
Yeah, it wasn't that well produced. It looked kind of really TV,
Yeah,
and
just even
seeing
the story was a bit. I don't know. Didn't really get me going.
the story was just really kind of predictable, and all the characters were a bit wishy-washy, and there was no real edge to it at all.
Yeah,
And with the Boba Fett thing, you need sort of an edge. You need a bit of danger and real edge, and it's almost like they made the Boba Fett into a kind of cartoon character.
I think as well. It's like in the films and sort of before he was also this just sort of like say mysterious character, but he's all sort of on the edge of things. Whereas that he just felt a bit too he settled down, got a real job, and
Totally.
it's
It's
like,
like all he wanted to do was just sit and watch sports, and then these people, all these gangsters, was getting in the way. He's like, "Look,
yeah,
do you want to just do what you're told and leave me alone to sit and eat my dinner?" And then
yeah,
they wouldn't, so it was almost like a hassle. He had to go and sort them out. Whereas the old
yeah.
Boba Fett is like, "Let's fucking go and sort them out." You know, he'd been up for it.
But he wouldn't be hanging around like to do the right thing. It's like it just didn't seem to be
Yeah.
who Boba Fett was, you know?
I did like the bit. I did like the whole spiritual thing with the Tuscans. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that
I
was
thought
quite cool.
it started well with that. It showed promise. I've rewatched that as well. I've rewatched most of these things, and I rewatched that, and I basically I didn't get to the end of it because the beginning. Did I get to the end? Maybe I did, but I definitely enjoyed the first episodes with the Tuscans and all that. This
Yeah,
idea of them getting taken under becoming part of the
yeah.
clan and everything. And then
No,
him seeing the Tuscans getting disrespected and their land, and then getting killed and their land getting taken over. And that was really cool. You got really involved with that. You're like, yes, he's fight for the Tuscans. And then it's almost like it just didn't become about them anymore at all anymore.
yeah. I think I'd kind of forgotten that's how it started, but yeah, that bit was good. And it was setting up that reason why he wants to do the right thing and blah blah blah. But yeah, it just it was a good setup, but it wasn't setting up something good.
No, the last second half definitely is not great, but I still love it because it's Star Wars. I still, again, it's one of those things. It's not a movie, but it's one of those things you can put on anytime. I'll sit and watch it. Like, Star
Yeah.
Wars. I can pretty much watch any Star Wars. Anytime when everyone goes, "Oh, I don't like this one, I don't like that one," I'll watch any of it. The stuff that I like more than other stuff, the stuff that I don't like as much, but I'll still watch any of it because it's fucking Star Wars, man. I'll fucking watch any of it.
Yeah, I haven't watched like the whatever the prequels,
Yeah,
and it's like they get absolutely slated, but they're not they're not that they're
they're
not
in
they're very
some res
different.
in some
But
respects they are terrible. In other respects, they're pretty cool. I would say in some aspects, like the acting, the directing, the dialogue is pretty fucking bad. But
yeah,
visually, but the overall story and the effects and the visual, not so much the effects, but like well, the effects are pretty good, especially for the time. But the story, the overall story and plot and the character design and the different landscapes, all the design of it is pretty interesting, and you can just sit and, I mean, it's great. Those movies are great to put on the telly with where you got music on because they look cool,
yeah,
but the acting and the dialogue is fucking painful, man. Some of it, honestly, is so bad.
yeah. No, it
But
is. Um, I think this is it. You can I can watch them all. Watch them all without feeling like I'm torturing myself or anything like that. It's like
exactly.
there's entertainment in them, but yeah, sometimes you need to switch off the dialogue a bit. But
See, The Last Jedi is one of my favorite ones, and it's one of the ones that's most criticized. But I actually really love it. Like it's one that's one of those movies that I didn't like so much at first. At first, I came out going, "What the fuck was that? That was weird." And the second time I watched it, I was like, I don't really feel like it was as much of a fun Star Wars movie as I'm used to." Because at that point, we only had the prequels and the original trilogy. And then I watched it again like the next couple more times, and I was like, this film's fucking brilliant. I mean, there's some bits that are obviously not amazing, but some of it's great. Like, looks like Mark Hamill is brilliant in that movie. I think his acting is
mm,
brilliant. Like, you really believe like he's like fuck the Force. He's like fuck the Jedi, all this shit. He's just like totally. And then he comes around, and it doesn't seem like cheap or like. It's not like you know when Anakin just suddenly turns into like Darth Vader and starts killing children. You're like, what the fuck? When this happen? Like with Luke
yeah,
Skywalker, that he acts so well. You're kind of like, yeah, you can kind of see it. It's like he's just like, fuck this stupid religion. It's just caused more. It caused my father to turn evil. It's caused me more grief than good. He's, you can see. I think it's believable,
yeah,
but a lot of that's to do with the acting. And then the
yeah.
bit when Yoda comes down and he in the sets the lightning and burns the Jedi temple. And Yoda's talking to him there. Do you remember that bit?
Don't know.
There's a
Keep
bit
going.
where he's sitting, not the Jedi Temple. There's a bit on the island where he is,
Yeah,
where they have all the books,
yeah.
and he's sitting outside, and then Yoda spirit comes and sits and chats to him, and Luke's kind of going, "Ah, I don't know," and then he has this great conversation with Yoda, and Yoda just like sets a light to the place where I had the books and stuff, and looks like what you doing? And Yoda's like, you don't need them, it's like you know everything, like um and it's not about you, and it's like, your students will be, what is he says, your students are basically saying that like your students will always do more than what you've achieved, and so it's not all about
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
stop focusing on you, da, da, da. And it still does a really good messages and a little bit of humor in there as well. Because those page turners, they are not, talking about the books and stuff. But there's loads of really good bits in Last Jedi, like there's loads of like I don't understand. People say things like, "Oh, they should have had more stuff," but Luke should have been. We want to see Luke, like kicking ass and stuff. It's like the guy was like 60 odd. It'd have been silly to have Luke Skywalker shimmying about like it was unbelievable when Alec Guinness was doing it. It wasn't believable when Count Dooku was doing it. So why would it be any? I don't think it would have worked that well if you'd had old Mark Hamill jumping about saving the world. Like it worked well having them as this old hermit. It was a good story, and there's loads of, if you watch that movie, it's full of really good sort of messages and stuff. Uh, and I get not every movie is for everybody, but honestly, that movie, I always say my favorites of the three trilogies are all the middle, apart from Star Wars. Star Wars for me, you can't put Star Wars in there any ranking because the original one's the original one. So like you can't have any of them without having Obi-Wan telling Luke about the Force, Luke leaving Tatooine, although
Yeah,
you can't have the Death Star, so that for me comes out of the equation. So after that, my favorite movies would be like the all the middle movies. So Attack of the Clones from the prequels, Empire Strikes Back, original trilogy, Last Jedi from the sequel trilogy. I think that's because those are the ones that have got less setup, less action, and more just about like, you know, um, character and story development and stuff. And so, yeah.
yeah.
But Last Jedi is good, man. You should watch more Star Wars.
I probably should. Um, so I mean, watched all the new ones. Um, I don't think I've watched any of them, like rewatched any of them, apart from um Rogue One.
Rogue
I've
One's
seen that.
good. When Rogue One first came out, I'd seen Force Awakens like 2 years before, or whatever, a year before. And Rogue One, I remember going to see because we were staying out in East Linton then, and I got the bus for about a fucking 45-minute bus into the nearest cinema, like shopping center place, one of these outdoor places, to see Rogue One. I remember coming out feeling totally buzzing. I was like, oh my God, that was like seeing like the original. It's like seeing one of the original trilogy movies for the first time. It felt amazing. And I
Yeah,
absolutely loved it. I was totally buzzing. I always remember getting this bus, like 45-minute bus back, and it just flew by because I was just thinking about the movie. I was just so buzzing from it. So, like, that's fucking, it was like seeing a whole new movie. Like, Force Awakens would be fine, but it felt like they were just kind of redoing the original movie. It didn't really. Whereas
yeah,
Rogue One was like, this is like just more of the original trilogy, but new and better effects and everything. I was absolutely buzzing. But that was one of
yeah.
those
Well,
movies for me that after I've watched it more times, I still like it. I still really like it, but I think it's missing some of the magic of Star Wars. It's because it's not really got much Jedi stuff in it,
yeah,
and you know what's going to happen. So the more you watch it, the less quite kind of it seems to have less substance to it after a while.
I suppose that was one of the sort of big things about it. It was that reveal that spaceport that is conveniently there for Luke to fire a photon torpedo, whatever it is, down, was put there on purpose.
Yeah, it's like giving more depth, more.
But that's a sort of big reveal. It's like, that's really, yeah, okay, that makes sense because it's sort of everyone was kind of like, well, it's a bit convenient, but there's this flaw in the Death Star that,
Yeah, you could say they sort of retconned that, and they basically they just kind of
yeah.
made it make
So
more
it's quite
sense.
clever, and but yeah, I mean, it was well done, but I guess maybe it loses some of that after you've seen it a couple of times, or re-seen it a couple of times.
I mean, I love her. I got Felicity Jones. I think she's great. Um, the guy that plays Andor. I don't know about something about his acting. I don't connect with so much. He never seems to. He always seems to show the sort of similar emotion, kind of like serious and a bit dour.
Mm,
But I mean, it fits the movie. But then he seems. Maybe it's just because just. I've not seen him out. Maybe that's just his character, I suppose. But But I find myself watching Rogue One less just because it is a bit sort of grim. You know what's going to happen, and there's not. You don't come out of it feeling that great. Whereas a movie like Last Jedi, I come out of it. Yeah, it actually ends worse, not worse, but also ends kind of on a bummer note. Like they're losing the Empire's, but there is a bit of hope. No, not completely. There is a bit of hope at the end, but there's just more meat to it. There's
Yeah.
honestly watch it again, man. It's one of those. I wasn't sure about it the first time. The second time, I was like, not even sure if I like that. This might be the first. This might be the first Star Wars movie, apart from the prequels, but in a different way. Just like, oh, it's not so much. It's just shit. It's more just I don't like it.
Mm.
I felt like it was a good movie, but I just didn't like it. And then I watched it again and again, and eventually I was like, I think this might be my favorite Star Wars movie, or one of my favorites. Sorry, not my favorite.
Mm.
So yeah, watch it again a few times. Honestly, it's really good.
I might do. But yeah, interesting saying there, getting back on the Spaceman. Um,
Taking a bit of a detour there. Like.
randomly. But yeah, in the movie, it's all about the sort of love story part of it. But in the book, just when you said that, it boils it down to the whole because Anusha's there to observe because their race didn't know about humans. They thought they knew about everything in the universe, but they didn't know about humans. And this sort of secret he's discovered, and humans just work completely differently. They have no fear in their society. They just don't have it. They don't fear anything. So that's what's sort of unique about humans is they fear stuff. But all the sort of thinking about what you're not doing right is about boils down to that what humans do right is that they continue to have hope. So it's just when you're saying about that sense of hope
Yeah,
in one of the films,
that's a really good
made
point,
me think of
man.
that.
No, totally.
But it was
I forgot about the no fear thing. Yeah, that was really good. There was a bit where Hanush goes something like, "Why do you worry about this or that? It is what is sort of thing," or something along those lines. Kind of Buddhisty kind of sounding line. But it's
yeah, I
just like
guess.
there's no point in worrying about it because it is what it is, sort of thing. He said it better. But do you remember
Yeah.
something like that?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that's something like I say they've tried to condense the essence of what's in the book. So it goes into sort of more depth about it, but that sort of Hanushi's conclusion about humans is that what he finds interesting about them is that they have hope even when you probably shouldn't. But that's what sort of keeps us going.
And I think that's what is what's good about Star Wars. And when you don't have that in the Star Wars, it's missing the point. The whole point of the original trilogy was that hope.
Yeah, against all odds,
Uh-huh, that is the whole
still
fucking
hope.
point.
Yeah,
Even Luke Skywalker, his father, who's fucking Darth Vader, he's like, most people are like, yeah, come on, man, he's gone.
yeah.
And he's
He's
like,
not
no,
coming
wait a
back.
minute,
He's made his
he's
mind
still
up.
in there. And he was right. And like, he didn't get to like, in the way he died and stuff, like, it's not like he got to, you know, live like he hadn't done anything bad. He died, but he got some sort of like, it's hard to describe what that was at the end, but
He's a Jedi again, wasn't he?
I don't know if it was a Jedi again, but like he was
He was in the Jedi robes.
you could see that what oh at the end when he's like in the spirit and stuff.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, okay. I mean I'm thinking more when he's like
Oh,
the
when he's
bald head
yeah,
and aye.
yeah.
And being able to being given the chance Luke gave him the chance to express his gratitude and his kind of regret and all that sort of stuff. There's that thing about forgiveness and stuff. That's kind of what it was. It's kind of like in a way, was it better for Luke than it was it as good as for his who got the most out of that, Luke or his dad? Because
Hmm.
maybe Luke got more out of it because he was like he needs to know that his dad wasn't a total asshole, and so he could finally okay you could die now, Dad, because now you know you're not a total asshole. I feel better. Whereas like literally, if you died being a total bastard killing people and my friends,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
Interesting. Interesting. There's actually parallels because in the Spaceman book, that's a big part of it. His dad was this party member that used to torture people.
And
Um,
and how much of what he's doing was because to get forgiveness or to get
yeah, it's massively it's a huge part of it. He was doing this to be a hero for the Czech nation to pay off the debt and then try and banish the curse that they talk about. He's has his father's curse. Um,
yeah, so
and like
it is a lot like, isn't it?
yeah, I mean yeah, funny. I just didn't see it until we started having this conversation. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff about hope and yeah,
I think everyone's got something about their parents that they happen to let go or forgive or something, haven't they? Not everybody, but a lot of people.
going. It's not an easy job to get right the best of times.
So yeah, I wouldn't recommend if you're going to watch Last Jedi, you don't even have to bother watching The Force Awakens, honestly, because like you know what happens. It's Force
Yeah,
Awakens is great. It's a great introduction to the characters. You know, if you've never seen them before, but once you know who they are, once you know who Kylo Ren is and Rey is and stuff, BB-8, you really don't have to watch it again. It's kind of fun to watch, but there's not that much to it. You can go straight into Last Jedi and you won't be missing anything. You won't be like, oh, I wonder if I should rewatch Force Awakens first. No, you don't need to. Just go straight into
yeah.
Last Jedi, man.
They're all. I mean, you've got Disney again at the moment, so they're all on Disney, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, when did you get it again? Because you go on and off
Just
all the time, do you know?
yeah, just you get to a point where you've watched everything you want to watch. There's nothing new coming for a while. I think you might as well just can it for a bit and then
They don't seem to have such a regular stream of new stuff as the other
yeah.
channels. They have more of a library, and they occasionally add to the library. Whereas other stuff, they've got a constant like cycle of stuff.
I think they're trying to do it more by having like these sort of sub channels.
Oh
Can't
yeah.
can't remember what they were
Have you
called
seen
on.
that thing, The Old Man? It's on Disney.
I don't think so.
It looks. I've never seen it, but it looks. Well, it's got Jeff Bridges. You know Jeff Bridges.
Yeah,
It's got Jeff
I
Bridges, the main
I
character.
think
Isn't
yeah, I
it?
think I saw the trailer for it actually.
Do you like Jeff Bridges?
I do like Jeff Bridges, so
And
genuinely
I
worth a
think,
watch.
yeah, I think that's more than anything. That's why I fancied it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Can't
I,
remember what it's about now, but I do remember seeing a trailer for it now that you say it.
it's something to do with. I don't know if he's an ex spy or military or FBI or something or something like that, and political thriller action, something like that.
If it go, he does the odd one that's not that great, but
Does he? Because I can't think of anything I've not liked him in.
I'm trying to think there was one that I saw that was like it was that great. But yeah, generally speaking, like his work.
Oh man, I love him. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's he's the Big Lebowski, right? Jeff Bridges.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was have you seen The Fisher King?
Yeah.
That's pretty, did you like
Rob
that?
Williams.
Robin Williams, Jeff Bridges, directed by the guy from Monty Python.
Yeah, Terry Gilliam.
Yeah. Good movie.
Um
Should watch it again. It's good.
I don't remember it that well, so yeah, I probably should.
I watched it probably when I was too young and I was like, this is a bit weird and annoying. And then I watched it again when I was older and I was like, this is fucking good.
Yeah.
Although,
Yeah, I mean I like
again, it's been so long since I watched it the second time, even that I can't actually remember that much about it. I just remember thinking it was much better than I
it was
thought
good.
the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had Jeff Bridges in it, and Jeff Bridges,
Yeah.
I don't, he's whether the movie's good or not, he's always good. Come on.
Yeah. One thing I watched fairly recently that I would never would have watched, but somehow at work was like it's what it is and it's quite good value. Is RIPD. You've seen that?
What's that?
So he's like a
Oh,
ghost policeman.
a ghost.
Yeah. So they're all dead. It's RIPD.
Oh, I see.
So it's like really, really corny, but actually it's not a bad film. Him,
Who's in it?
I can't remember. It's him and some. It's like the two of them are partners.
It's like a kind of spoof thing,
It's
isn't
not.
it?
It's not completely
Right. Okay.
sort of.
I
It's a
think I've
bit.
seen
I
the
mean, it's kind
cover.
of. It's funny.
Okay.
It's
I
not.
think I've seen
But
the
it's not a
cover
total
to it.
spoof. Yeah.
It's got comedian guys in it, is it not?
It's the guy playing with him is like really famous as well.
Get on your get on your control station.
Oh, it's what's his name? Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds,
And
and Jeff Bridges.
and Jeff Bridges.
Yeah. So
Okay,
Ryan
that
Reynolds
okay, that could be good.
becomes yeah. Is
Okay, I might
I
have
mean
to watch
it's
that. I might have to watch that.
it's I mean like don't get your expectations up too high, but it's entertaining.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of Ryan Reynolds, but Jeff Bridges and Ryan Reynolds is good. He's just not always what you're in the mood for, you know. But
Yeah. Like him in
uh,
like the first two Deadpools. I watched Deadpool Wolverine recently. I was like, eh,
it was just a cash grab. I mean, people raved on it, but it was just because there's been like such a lack of big movies for a while that they're just like delighted that there's a big movie again with their favorite characters
yeah,
in it. But it wasn't that good. The first two were
nah,
definitely better.
yeah.
Um, I really like Colossus, the big Russian silver guy. It's pretty funny. Like, do you remember him?
Yeah. Was he wasn't in the Wolverine one though, was he? He was
No,
in
no, he wasn't. No,
yeah,
or maybe briefly, but no. The first one was the best one, I think, if I remember correctly.
I think so. And it's the second one. Second one's one where he gets the baby arm. Is it?
Yeah,
That's quite good.
the second
Yeah, I think
one.
the first one was good.
The second one's got the guy from. Have you seen Hunt for the Wilder People?
Yeah,
He's like the
that's a great
set.
film.
Yeah, there's an actor I really like, Sam Neill. Do you like him?
Ah, he's awesome.
He's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, so good. Did you
I
see him in
think.
Peaky Blinders?
Oh yeah, he was fucking nasty in that, wasn't he?
He
Nasty.
was that first season of Peaky Blinders, like that,
Sam,
amazing.
Sam Neill is definitely. I mean, we're going through some of my favorite actors. Sam Neill and Jeff Bridges are two of my favorite actors. Definitely my
Yeah,
sort of top 10, top 20 minimum favorite
for sure.
actors.
Same.
Sam Neill's a great actor. Like,
Ah, he's so good.
uh, what movie were we just talking about that he was in? Oh no, oh yeah, because we're Hunt for the Window People. He's in that, right? But
Yeah,
the kid from that is one of the X-Men sort of kids from the academy in X-Men in Deadpool 2. He sets things alight or something.
but I think I did notice that at the time, but I've not seen it for ages.
Yeah, that kid's been, he was also in he was in like a Marvel movie as well. He's been in a few things, that guy. He always kind of
Yeah.
plays a similar kind of character. I'm not sure he's a good actor,
Hmm.
but yeah, Sam Neill, man. Sam Neill's brilliant as well. There's some actors I don't care if it's a good or bad movie or whatever, I'll just watch the actors like and Sam
This is it.
Neill, Jeff Bridges, Daniel Day-Lewis, I love. Do you like Daniel Day-Lewis?
You know what? I mean, when I see him, I do, but he's not. His films are always quite depressing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's true. That is true. But he's such a good actor, man.
Mm.
He
So, I mean, I do
he also
appreciate it when I watch it, but it's like
well,
I
he's
don't.
later the stuff that he's done more recently as well has been sort of bigger, more serious roles. Like I remember trying to watch the one he did about the US president. What's his name with the beard?
Lincoln.
Lincoln. And I remember watching a bit of that, and I was probably not in the mood for it. You have to be in the mood for that sort of thing. But I remember just thinking, "Oof, this is dull." Uh, but I don't know how interesting it's supposed to be honest. But have you seen There Will Be Blood?
Yeah,
No, that's really good. Gangs of New
I,
York.
I don't think I've seen Gangs in New York. That does look good though.
You've not seen Gangs of New York?
No,
Oh, you have to watch that, man.
Yeah,
So good.
I will. I will.
Daniel
Do you know what it's on?
Day-Lewis. Well, I can lend you the DVD. I mean, look, I just today I've been organizing my DVDs, so I was doing them all alphabetically. For the first, I've never done it before. Arranged them all alphabetically. I've got this app that like easy to log different movies on and stuff, and so I had logged most of them on the app anyway. So I just had to go through them alphabetically in the app and then put them in order in the same. But then I'd bought quite a few more Blu-rays since then, so I was having to like. So I couldn't just go on the app alone. So it took me basically all afternoon to try and get them in order. But they're pretty much enough. I've got my own little library now. It's amazing, which is really handy. I never thought it'd been that useful to put in alphabetical before. I also thought it was a bit of an artsy thing to do.
Yeah.
But now talking to you has made me realize it's actually quite handy because if you say, right, okay, you want Bar Gangs of New York, just go, okay, G Gangs of New York, there you go. Instead of just standing looking at it, drunk and stone, going, fuck, I know I've got it somewhere. You
Yeah,
know,
no,
I
it
could
does
just play
make
it like
sense.
that. So next time I'm down, man, I'll lend you it. But I imagine it's on, to be honest, what streaming
No, I
service
was
is it?
having a look. I mean, it looks like it's on Channel 4.
You know, it's one. It's not. It won't be a hard movie to find. It's one of these ones that there's certain movies that are really hard to find on Blu-ray, if at all. In other movies, they're ten a penny. And like Gangs of New York is one of those ones. You go on like any website and see, can I buy Gangs of New York Blu-ray, and it'll be like 50p or something.
I think it's on Netflix as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I might watch that. Because I
But
remember like seeing something about it and thinking, oh, I quite fancy watching it, and then never getting around to it, and just one of these films that passed me by.
so I'll tell you the good and bad about it without any spoilers. The good about it is it's got great acting performances by Daniel Day-Lewis and Leonardo DiCaprio, who are really good in it. They're both great
Yeah,
actors anyway. They're good in
yeah,
most things. And they're the main two characters. And they're like rivals. And so the whole movie is about their rivalry and stuff. And it's amazing. And there's loads of good history about that time in American history where like the Irish were coming over and you had like
yeah,
the English with their ideas and like how they were sort of trying to like culturally the clash between the two and stuff. Um so you've got a nice little story, you've got great acting, and uh, some interesting things about history. The downside is just a little bit too polished. Like it
mm.
just looks like a lot of it's filmed in a studio or in a Hollywood street or something. It doesn't. You don't never really feel like you're in New York at that time. It feels kind of. I think.
That
I
not
think it's
deliberate though. So it kind of looks deliberate. It's
no.
like all like hyper colors that are going on. Is that
Maybe
not?
it was, but I think it's more. I always felt it was. I think it's a '90s film.
Yeah,
And do you know that thing about 90s films where they're all just a bit too nice looking? Even the gritty ones are just like polished and shiny and everything. There's too much makeup on the actors, or there's too much. The shots are just too perfect. Or do you know what I mean?
yeah. It was a sort of thing in the 90s, wasn't it? It's like where veneers became a thing, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, and like even
So,
like period stuff, which should look gritty, didn't look gritty.
yeah,
You know, I'm trying to think of another example. Like, but so that's the
no,
downside
I know
of
what you
it.
mean.
But honestly, it's such a the story's so good and the acting's so good that you kind of let it slide. I definitely recommend it, 100%. And for me, it's an eight. It's great. I love it. It's one of those movies I remember little bits about quite often. You know, it's certain. It's probably because I watch lots of movies over and over again, but quite often when I'm doing something, I'll just remember something about a particular movie, and that's one of those one that movie I remember bits of that quite often.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I'll definitely watch that.
Daniel Day-Lewis is fucking brilliant. There's a kind of sort of Celtic Rangers thing going on, and Daniel Day-Lewis is like the Rangers guy, and Leonardo DiCaprio is like the Celtic guy, if you know what I mean. You
Yeah,
know, he's got the Irish culture and religion and Irish ways and Irish music and Irish traditions. And Daniel Day-Lewis is more like, this is a thing should be doing like this, and it's all about being tough and being strong and being regular and rules and it's more that kind of It's a bit stereotypical, but it really works in the movie, man. It's fucking good. Daniel Day is fucking like at one point you're built this builds up this rivalry and you're just like, oh fuck, this is gonna kick off, man. And a couple of times you're like, oh fuck, oh it's gonna happen now. It feels like a kind of gangster movie. I think it was Scorsese. I think Scorsese directed it. But I
Yeah,
feel it's got that kind of there's elements of it, scenes where it's like a gangster movie. It's like a Goodfellas or something.
good film.
Is it Scorsese you got up there?
I thought I had it up, but I'd closed it, so I was just looking for it.
Where's
Check
G?
if you want.
Where is G? G's too high up right now. Unless it's just there. No, G's up there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm 90% sure it's Scorsese. Like,
That's That sounds about right. Uh,
oh man, I
Killer
can't
Mary.
believe you've not seen that. Jeez,
Yeah, it's Scorsese.
dude, you gotta see that, man. Shit. Did you like Casino? Did you like
Yeah,
Goodfellas?
yeah,
Nah, you're gonna love this, man. That's a real treat. I'm always so jealous when I tell someone about a great movie and they've never seen it. I'm like,
yeah,
I'd love to have not seen that.
yeah.
Um,
Like you say, it's always the first time's the best.
yeah. And
Cool.
what's her name's in it? She's gorgeous as always. What's her name? She was in The Mask. Remember The Mask?
Cameron Diaz.
Yeah, she's like the main female character, and she's beautiful in it. So
Yeah.
that's a bonus as well. I mean, everyone's a
Do you
winner,
remember The
man.
Mask? I remember going to see The Mask in the Odeon
Do you?
in Clark Street.
Yeah, God, that's where I think that's where I was standing out to go. When my memory of waiting to go and see the Star Wars Emperor Strikes Back with Bill, that was Odeon, South Cork Street, because we used to live in just near Fountain Bridge.
Yeah,
So
that was our local cinema, Dalkeith Road.
it was pretty cool. And there you go in, and they had the wee steps up, and the hall was all kind of carpet. It felt like a hotel. Cinemas used to
Yeah,
feel like hotels. Remember that?
but there were theaters.
It's nice. I love as a kid. I loved that. I always loved as a kid being in big spaces. Do you remember as a kid you'd be in these big spaces with carpets and you'd love just like sitting on the floor, lying on the floor. It just feel amazing. Do you remember that?
I remember my brother and his brother and sister's birthday because they were twins. But like before it was really a thing. We sort of hired one of the smaller cinemas in that Odeon for
Right.
like a private screening thing for a
No.
birthday party.
Yeah, you can still do that these days. Yeah.
Yeah, but like back then it wasn't really done that much. But I think we watched Star Wars
Nice.
or it was Empire Strikes Back. It might be the Empire Strikes Back, but it was only us in the cinema, and so like they were playing music and stuff before the film came on, and like we were all up at the front dancing on the sort of the stage bit and stuff. It was like
That's cool.
you could do it because there was no one else there. It was like, yeah. But I mean, yeah, because that like the main cinema was this big theater thing and had statues at the side and you had like the lights that were like stars and all that sort of stuff. It was
Yeah, the
cool, proper
lights and the
seats
stars.
and
Yeah.
but then the other two cinemas were pretty small. I seem to remember. Like one of them was just like a big living room with like rows of seats in it. And that was the one
Right.
we were in.
Right.
Nice. Maybe it was at the Cameo. Cameo was still like that.
Yeah, I mean the camera was always pretty tiny.
Yeah. It's Cameo
Camera was like
3.
it's like a sort of stone.
My living room now is bigger than Cameo 3.
I don't know about that, like.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Talking of
It
your
was
living
tiny.
room, talking of your living room, right? Something occurred to me after the last time I was there. I was thinking, what does he do when he watches the TV? Because your like sofa and
Yeah.
your TV are at right angles. Do you sit on the sofa and watch the TV at a right angle, or do you move the one or the other?
The TV sort of gets angled a bit because we've got the armchair over there. Wasn't my choice, but it does make the room more sociable.
Dude, never go sociable. Any room. Have you seen Moon?
Ages ago.
Yeah, with he's another one of my favorite actors, Sam Rockwell.
Who's he again? Recognize the name.
He's made his name mainly playing like sort of character actors, like not the main character, but like you know what I mean by character actor, where he's like a big sort of key character with a lot of some
Yeah.
like something different about them that makes them stand out, but they're not like the main character. They're not like the
Mhm.
hero or the villain. They're just like character. He's done loads of stuff like that, but like in Iron Man 2, do you remember Iron Man 2?
I might do.
He's like the guy that's like he's like kind of jealous of Iron Man and he's trying to sell like his own version of like Iron Man defense and he's trying to do a show like Iron Man, he's trying to be the cool guy and stuff. And he ends up siding with Mickey Rourke, the bad guy, to get Iron Man.
I don't think I remember I meant you at all. Now that you've said all of that.
Well, Sam Rockwell is the best reason to Mickey Rourke's pretty good as well, but Sam Rockwell is the best reason to watch that Iron Man 2. What else has he been in? He's been in loads of good things.
I pulled him
Um,
up. I recognize his face now that I see him.
well, he's the main character in Moon.
That must have been one of his first films, then, was it?
Yeah, it's an old one. I don't know if it's first one, but yeah, it's definitely an older movie. And that's
2009.
that same same sort of concept of a guy being out on his own in a spaceship, going a little bit nuts.
Yeah.
Spaceman. Um,
It's David Bowie's son that directs it, isn't it?
didn't know that. Didn't know that.
Maybe I'm talking shit. I
It's one
think
of
so,
those
though.
movies where I watched once, remember liking it, and then I saw it on a deal online to get for like £1 or something, so I just bought it. And I haven't watched it again since, but I remember thinking it was good, so I'll probably rewatch it again soon just because I love it somewhat well.
Yeah, Duncan Jones.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, I've not watched that for ages. But I remember it being pretty good.
Have you seen Far and Away? It's kind of cheesy, but I quite like it.
So, I think so.
It's Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman as two Irish immigrants arriving in New York and trying to make a life. And it was about the time there was a time in American history where they just discovered the West, and they were basically opening up to like to make it less wild. They were opening up to like basically they were set up a race where everyone could just ride out and you could just claim a stake of land because they wanted it to have owners that were going to farm it. They didn't want it just to be wild.
Yep.
Or I mean, it was all owned by Indians really technically, but this is what they did. And Far and Away is about
Yeah.
two Irish immigrants coming out and doing that. And it's kind of cheesy. It's got that 90s vibe to it, but I don't know. I really like it. It's just
Never heard of it. Didn't know that was the thing. But presumably they were around the same sort of time of Days of Thunder and
yeah. It's about the time when they started going out and getting married and stuff. Have you seen American Made talking about Tom Cruise? Where he's like
American Made.
American Made. He flies a plane smuggling cocaine or something to and from Colombia into America.
No.
Oh,
Good.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's good, dude. I mean, like I say, I like them all, but just knowing you, I think you prefer that to like Far and Away, for example. Far Away is more of a sort of more one you watch with your wife, sort of thing. But
It doesn't sound like
what's that?
I'm saying it doesn't sound like one that I would naturally go for.
No,
Far away.
no, it's kind of cheesy, but I've got a cheesy side to me that I like these kind of things sometimes.
Well, I can't too.
I prefer watching cheesy feel good to horror, for example. I just like I said, I get too influenced by the mood of a movie, so I can put up with the cheese just because it's making me feel good. Whereas a horror movie might be a better movie, but I just don't enjoy watching it because I don't like the feeling of it or whatever.
Yeah, I get where you come from.
As Far Away is a really good sort of feel good movie. Oh, talking Tom, there's a few Tom Cruise movies I like. Have you seen Risky Business? You must have seen Risky Business.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have.
What's it about then?
Don't know.
It's
You tell me.
I think it might have been his. Well, I was testing to see if you'd seen it or not. It's
Yeah,
one of his first movies. Might have been his very first movie, and he's just like a rich kid, and
yeah, it's the one. It's got the band in it. Well, not the band aren't in it, but their song "Ain't Got No Home."
that's not the band. Ain't Got No Home. That's Clarence the Frog. Somebody.
No, that's the original, but like the version that's in Risky Business is the band.
Oh, really?
It's their
Okay.
version of it.
The one where he's
It's
sliding about.
arguably better.
I might have to listen to it again now. The one where he's sliding about because his
Yeah,
parents
yeah,
gone
and
away
then
for the
his pants.
weekend.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, okay. So yeah, you know it.
yeah.
I love that movie. I think that's a brilliant movie. He's brilliant in that. He's brilliant in that because Tom Cruise is a better actor than people give him credit for. He really like yeah,
He's an entertainer.
he can act like an asshole, but he can also act like not an asshole. Like he's good. I don't know. He's a good actor.
Yeah, no, he is.
Um, a lot of times he plays roles where the character's a bit of an asshole. But like he plays it like that. It's not doesn't mean he's an asshole. He's just good at playing those, like Born the Fourth of July, and he gets all bitter and fucking. Do you like that one? That's pretty good. Tom Cruise movie.
Don't remember that well, but yeah,
Born the Fourth of July is when he's off in the war, in Vietnam War, and then
yeah.
he gets all fucked up and he gets all fucking bitter and pissed off because he loses his
I
legs. Loses his legs.
right. Yeah, it's
And
coming
he's in a
back.
wheelchair and he's just like a bitter fucking
I remember him
Vietnam.
sitting in the kitchen being all bitter and
Yeah, he's brilliant in that. That's an Oliver Stone movie. Oliver Stone, we're talking about like that 90s thing. I mean, Oliver Stone for me has got that 90s vibe big time. He does
Mhm.
movies that are about really serious or deep or intense
Yeah, but they're big
subjects,
and
but they've got
very
this kind of sheen.
cinematic as well.
But they've got a sheen to them, Like he did The Doors.
Yeah.
Really good movie, but it's still got a bit of a gloss to it. It's not quite.
No,
Do you know?
yeah.
Or do you not mind? Do you not notice that? No.
Not watched it for a long time, but yeah, I can believe
It's a really
that.
good movie, but it's got that kind of 90s vibe. Trust me, you probably remember it being amazing. You watch it again now, you'll be like, oh fuck, this is total 90s kind of not cheesy, but there's cheesy elements to it. Oliver Stone does stuff like that.
Yeah,
Uh,
polished. I say, yeah, Tom Cruise, severely dyslexic.
is he?
So like he had to memorize his lines because he couldn't read bottle cues.
Right.
So like particularly sort of early days.
Right, interesting.
Um,
Well, I've to say I like most movies I've seen him in. I think he's good. I mean, I don't
no, I
know
think
what he's like.
he's good value for money. Like if he's on the bill, then it's gonna be of a certain standard.
Jerry Maguire, now there's a cheesy 90s movie. You seen that?
Think I might have.
He's a American football agent that basically loses everything, and then he's the only hope is he gets was one client. He gets basically fired from this big firm. He's a big, high flying guy, getting all the deals, big agent, and they basically just get shafted by his company, and they just tell him basically he's fucked. So he's like, fine, I'll take my clients with him, but then they all go with the company, and he can't get clients. So then they can only get this one American football client. It's the best client he can get, but nobody else wants him because he's a bit of a nutter. He's like, oh fuck's sake, I've got to try and make a living with this guy. He's all I've got. And it's like a cheesy rom-com, but he's really good in it.
No, I don't think I've seen that. But I was just thinking, I remember him being good in Rain Man.
Brilliant, Rain Man. Do you never go through? It's funny. Do you never? You so you struck me as someone that would watch movies again. I'm surprised that you don't. You struck me as somebody who would like that sort of thing.
I think I enjoy it more than I think I'm gonna do when I actually do it. Like if it's the right movie, it's the thought of watching something I've already seen. Sort of like, well, I've seen it, and what happens? But like whenever I watch it again, I'm like, ah. forgotten pretty much all of this. It's like I don't need to give it that long, like 6 months, and it's like almost like watching
Yeah, no, I recommend doing it more for
it.
sure.
Yeah, I
Like I
suppose
always say to Jane,
time
Jane
as
quite
well.
often goes, she's on Netflix and there's some new one, and she goes, "Do you fancy watching that?" And I'm like, meh. I'm looking at it going, I don't fancy the look of it. I don't fancy the sound of it. I'm thinking it might be like a 6 out of 10, but I'm like, to be honest, I'd rather watch a movie that I've seen 10 times that I know I really like than watch some movie that I know I'm probably not going to think is that great. It's okay.
Yeah,
I'd literally rather watch a good movie again. It's like going
it's
to a
funny.
restaurant and have the
Yeah,
same meal, you know?
yeah, and I guess like going to a restaurant, I would generally want to pick something that I've not had before.
Me too. Me too, but movies not so much.
Yeah,
It's not so much that
funny
I
that.
don't like trying new things, but when I'm looking at it and going, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like that much.
But I
So
think
it's either,
that's quite sensible because like there's so much stuff out now that just isn't that good, and that's kind of disappointing. There's a lot of just churn of. I think it's always that way, but it's just more obvious now.
there's more now and there's more turnover and like I was listening to someone talk about this the other day about how franchises and now when we were growing up, you got franchises like whether it was an action like Die Hard or Lethal Weapon, or if it was like sci-fi like Star Wars
Yeah,
or maybe not Star Trek so much, they were always a bit shit, but like other like Terminator or
yeah.
there was these
But
James
but
Bond. What's
yeah,
that?
there was not that many franchises that were better than two episodes, as it were. That you
What?
think about it. So like Terminator 1 and 2, pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
After that, it starts to get a bit iffy. There's not many that
yeah.
got past two versions
No, but
and
no, but that
continued to be good quality.
no, but you still stayed kind of faithful to it, and I think this is what the point these guys were talking about.
No, totally.
They were saying that like young people now they don't have that kind of
Loyalty.
not loyalty. That's the word I'm looking for. They don't have that loyalty to these franchises. We grew up and we're like, everyone loves Terminator, everyone loves Jurassic Park, everyone loves Star Wars. If it comes out, you're gonna go and see it. You're gonna go to cinema. You know it might, you know, it probably won't be as good as the first one or the second one. You're still gonna fucking go and see it. You're still gonna wear the T-shirt. You're still gonna buy the toys. You're still gonna talk about it. You're still gonna watch the original ones again. Whereas young people now, they've got so much new stuff constantly coming out, and there's so many different things, so much choice, and everyone's watching different shit. Nobody's like, there's very rarely is like every watch the same movie or the same show at the same
Yeah.
time, and so there's no faithful, and so no loyalty, sorry, and so nobody's like, it's really hard for franchises now. You know, people are like, oh, Star Wars, they can't do this, they can't do that right, or the fifth season is Stranger Things will probably come out and everyone will fucking criticize it because it's not as good as the fourth season, and it's like nobody cares anymore about like nobody's got this faithfulness to the franchise anymore where they're like, I'm just a fan. I'll just appreciate new shit coming out. Like I was saying about Star Wars, new Star Wars comes out, might not be my favorite. I'll still fucking watch it. I'll still buy it. I'll still love it because it's just more Star Wars. 'Cause I just love Star Wars.
But yeah, I mean, it is. And I mean, it's just how we create and consume media now. Everybody can have an opinion quite easily. So there's a lot of opinions. And like controversial opinions get more clicks than
Yeah,
positive opinions. And so
yeah, I
everyone
hate
wants to
that.
be this sort of controversial and like have this and
The
but
hot take. The
the
hot
hot
take.
take, all that sort of side of it. But it's like you say, like once you start to do that, it creates a certain atmosphere, and it's like people create that atmosphere, and so there's this cynical, general cynical atmosphere. But then also from like the franchise point of view, it used to be that the only way that you found out about films were through like um, movie magazines, mainstream media, blah blah blah. Whereas now there's like it's everywhere, and also in terms of watching it, like the only way you could watch it was like going to see it in the cinema. It came out in video, so it came out in video at the same time. It came out in the cinema at the same time, so everyone saw it at the same time.
Yep.
Whereas now things come out on streaming services all over the place, and like you've got it, or you haven't, and so maybe you'll wait and you'll see it like at a different time to someone else, and blah blah blah. But yeah, so like the way
Do young people even have like a shared culture these days? I mean, what is their shared culture? We shared pop culture, we shared music culture. Young people all seem to be into different shit. You know me, I could go as long as you wanted. So you're gonna have to you always have to call it a day because you know I never will.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, I'll call it. But yeah, it's great chatting to you, man.
you too, man. And I've been recording everything, so I'll trawl through it and try and edit it together to make a
Good luck.
decent podcast. I think we've got some good bits and bobs. We strayed off the topic of
Interesting to see.
Spaceman quite a lot.
Yeah, came back to it a few times, like
Yeah,
fleetingly.
yeah. So if I
And
can sort of snip them together or
yeah,
something like
stuff
that,
to snip together.
or maybe I'll
I
just
think,
leave
I
it.
mean, yeah, yeah, it'd be interesting to hear.
I
Don't
might
think
just
I'd
leave
like
most of
to
it. I mean,
listen
how long
back,
have we
but
going? Like,
quite a while.
when did we start?
8:30.
Jeez, is that half one? Did it have
Yeah,
one?
yeah,
Oh wow,
quite a while.
that's pretty good going then. That's like
It's quite a
5
lot of editing
hours.
for you, man.
What's that?
It's quite a lot of editing for you. You're gonna play it like double speed.
I know, jeez, yeah, that's true actually. See, I didn't. I thought it was half 12. I didn't realize it was half one.
Uh,
Oh well, that explains why my pipes ran out of batteries. Anyway, hey man, good to speak to you. And
you
then
too.
let's catch up soon in person or virtually.
I'll flash it again. So, yeah, it's been good.
Sleep well, man.
Yeah, you go.
Take
Bye
care.
for now.
BlasterGas. 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 BlasterGas.